Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I looked up and I said, oh, Wisconsin's playing, and they're winning. It should be a really good day. Maybe that's why Ben's not here today and I'm sitting in this chair, because he wanted to watch the Badgers play.
It would make sense to me. I mean, he's trying to say, I'll take a Tuesday off and just be able to watch my Badgers play at 1 o'clock. I guess later than that, but...
Well, it's Thursday, not Tuesday.
Thursday. I don't even know what day it is. I'm just showing up for work. That's all I know.
Oh, it must be nice just to show up and not know what day it is. That voice you hear is Brad Nortman. How you doing today, Brad?
I'm doing good. We're getting a little closer to the weekend, which I always love. And, man, I'm going to tell you what, too. I love the conference tournaments. You're talking about how Wisconsin's playing Maryland right now. Marquette's playing later. I feel like this is always like the official start of March Madness is the conference tournament. So I'm loving it. I'm doing good. Vibes are high. I'm feeling great. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic. I can't complain. Thank you so much for asking. Like you said, the vibes are high right now. We're going to keep it rolling right here on KBN. Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. No Madison today, so we're rocking local. Make sure you tap in and tune in right now and watch us as we stream live on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in ESPN Milwaukee, click on Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, and bada boom, bada bang. You have Brad and I here for the next 3 hours taking you on this fantastic journey that we're going to have today. And starting with this, Brad, free agency is going on still. Packers made a splash early. A lot of noise, a lot of swimming. But now that we know that the Packers made two of those big splashes, one being Xavier McKinney and the other being Josh Jacobs at the running back position, what I want to know, Brad, is impact-wise, right? Because you don't just sign guys just because they're big names. You sign guys because you want them to contribute to your team immediately in 2024. And with these two big signings, and if you look around, the pundits are saying, oh, you know, these are two of the big signings that the Green Bay Packers made. They don't usually do this, and they did it this year. I want to know, will these signings pay off? And not only will they pay off, Brad, who do you expect to have the biggest impact on the team in 2024? Do you expect it to be the safety they signed in Xavier McKinney, or the running back replacing Aaron Jones in Josh Jacobs?
Well, first of all, this is one of those questions, it's like a test question that I love. It's one of those things where there's no wrong answer, in my opinion, because both of them are going to have
what type of test is that? Test I like.
I mean, those are just ones that are like softball tests where it's like a kind of pick your own destiny one, and there's wrong answer here. There's no wrong answer.
That's that new school. That's that new Gen Alpha
that's
type
right. That's
grade
exactly
scale.
Right. So, but the way I look at it, to me, they're both going to have a big impact, but Josh Jacobs is going to have the biggest impact on this team. And here's why. There's no doubt he's replacing a beloved Packer in Aaron Jones. There's no doubt that when Aaron Jones was in there and healthy, he was productive. But when you look at what Josh Jacobs is going to bring this offense, it's going to make this offense borderline unstoppable. If Josh Jacobs can stay healthy, which he had a little bit of injury problems last year, but generally speaking, he stays pretty healthy throughout the season, and he's a bell cow. We've said that over and over. You can give him 20 touches. You can give him 25 touches. Out of the backfield, throwing the ball, he is a talented, physical, high-volume running back. What's that going to do? He's going to make it such that the defense is going to have to respect the run. When the defense respects the run, they bring those safeties a little bit in. Those linebackers play a little bit closer. Translation, the entire field opens up for Jordan Love. What did we see last year when Aaron Jones was healthy? An offense that was utterly clicking on every cylinder. Pick your poison. Do you want to stop the run? Do you want to try to stop the pass? Defenses' heads were spinning, trying to figure out what they can do to stop this offense. And we saw it in the final stretch with Aaron Jones. The problem is Aaron Jones' best days were behind him. Josh Jacobs' best days are ahead of him now for this offense. So not only is Josh Jacobs the number one in forced missed tackles since 2021, so he's hard to bring down. He's physical. He's going to wear on you. But we know when this offense has a capable running game, this is the Matt LaFleur offense. This is a shade of the 49ers offense with Raheem Mostert a few years ago, now Christian McCaffrey. When it's a sound, solid, and effective and consistent running game, This Green Bay Packer offense, it's going to be unstoppable. That's the way that it is. They want to commit to the run. It's going to open up everything for Jordan Love. The offensive line can block. We're going to have openings all over the field when these defenses have to respect the run. When they didn't have to respect the run, everything tightened up last year. So I'm thinking the Packers offense, and this is an offensively driven league, is going to be a big step up because this is going to be, imagine a healthy Aaron Jones all year, 3 years younger and harder to bring down. That's what Josh Jacobs is going to bring this team. That's why he's going to have the most impact of the two.
So that was the easy answer, right? The question that you said there is no wrong answer. You're going to say it's Josh Jacobs?
Even though there's no wrong answer, there's a right answer.
No,
it's Josh Jacobs.
There definitely is a wrong answer. And I want to hear from KBN Nation, 800-990-3776. That is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. And we want to know from you, which of the big two marquee signings that the Green Bay Packers made with their splash free agent signings, which one will have the biggest impact on the Green Bay Packers team in the 2024 season? Will it be Xavier McKinney or will it be Josh Jacobs? 800-990-3776. That is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Also, chime in on YouTube, on our YouTube message board, where we'll be able to talk to you in our group chat. But Brad, you said it's Josh Jacobs.
That's right.
For me, I think this one is so easy. There is only one right answer. They both may make an impact, but only one position is truly being filled in a position of need. When you look at the Green Bay Packers last season, we all knew that the safety position was one that was trash. It was not good. You had Jonathan Owens. You had Anthony Johnson as a rookie. You had Rudy Ford. You had Ennis Gaines. And then also you had Darnell Savage on the back end of that team. And what we talked about many times, a Darnell Savage that the Packers seemed like they truly, really did not want on their football team. So the fact that you are able to upgrade in the position, not just find somebody else who's younger, who's going to do the same thing, maybe get you more carries. No, you find somebody to fill a void on this football team that has been a void for a very long time. The Packers got the best safety on the market. The Packers got a safety that brings so many different qualities on the field, off the field, his leadership that he's going to bring, but also, Brad, you got a guy who is ascending into their prime at the safety position, okay? So when you are able to find somebody in a position of need like that, where you had a new DC come in, and in his press conference, what did he say, Brad? What was he looking for?
Looking for that safety, that all-American, all-everything
He was
safety.
looking for that all-American, all-everything safety. He was looking for somebody that had great ball skills. He was looking for somebody that could play sideline to sideline and erase the backside of the field. He was looking for somebody who can come down and make plays at the line of scrimmage, a sure tackler. We said he was looking for Iron Man and Superman, and he got the closest thing to Superman. He was ranked by Pro Football Focus as the number 4 safety in the NFL. The Green Bay Packers got a top safety finally on the back end of their team. There is only one right answer. When you had a whole bunch of below average or average guys on your roster, and now all of a sudden that position that you have becomes of strength because you have a dude that is going into his prime for your team, the big impact is going to be from Mr. Xavier McKinney. Your defensive coordinator got exactly what he wanted. The defense saw that. They're going to be hyped up. It's going to bring momentum to this team, camaraderie to this team, especially to the back end. And boy, oh boy, I can't wait to see all the seat belts and all the trash talking and finger wagging and the interception celebrations. I can't wait to see it because that is exactly what you're going to get with a duo of Xavier McKinney and having Jair Alexander at corner.
Well, like I said, I respect your answer. There's no wrong answer in this one. But don't you think there's still a lot of question marks with the defense? To me, the reason why I picked Josh Jacobs is that we've seen what this offense can be with a really good running game. The problem is we only got that sparingly throughout the season. So I'm confident that Josh Jacobs is going to be a guy that you can rely on week in and week out to be that for you. We've seen what it looks like. He's going to provide that physical running game, draw everybody near. When Jordan Love and all these receivers and all these tight ends have an open field with a consistent running game, I'm not sure they can be stopped. That's really the truth of it because we saw it throughout the playoffs and the end of the season and even week one.
Stopped, huh?
I mean, can't be stopped. We'll see if they can be stopped when they get rolling. But to me, with the defense, Xavier McKinney, he's a big bump from what we had before, right? From the other safeties that were in those positions last year.
Close.
And we know Hafley respects and values that position. But still, to me, I still don't know what the final product is for the defense. I don't know where he's going to be. I don't know exactly what his specific impact is going to be. I know with my eyes, this offense with a reliable running game is elite. I still don't know what the defense is going to be. McKinney helps a lot, but I still just don't know what his impact is going to be.
You know what I'm not going to sit here and let you do? I'm not going to sit here and let you slander Aaron Jones. There's enough people on social media got my boy hot, got my boy in his chest, in his emotions, sitting here retweeting stuff, liking stuff. You already got him all upset that he's not respected enough. I will not allow you, Bradley Nortman, to come on these radio waves and sit here on KBN and talk about Aaron Jones and not directly, but indirectly by saying, oh, Josh Jacobs is going to do all this, and having someone there consistently. I know what that is. That's a veil. That's a shot at his injury health, his health report.
It is.
So we're not
going to stay healthy. That's not my fault.
My whole thing is this: is that you don't know what you're going to get with Josh Jacobs health wise. My whole point is that yes, Josh Jacobs is a replacement from Aaron Jones. So bravo. That's fantastic. What you do know is that you're going to have a back in there that you can allow for that offense to take the next step, right? Because you still have a legitimate threat in the backfield, a big back that can make plays. I understand that. But for this defense, you said we don't know what we're going to have, but what we do know we're going to have is we're going to have a pretty good defensive backfield. We already knew that the D-line was trending in the right direction. Now you got some guys moving positions, but knowing that at each level, you're going to have a plus guy, right? You're going to have a Pro Bowler, Kenny Clark, alternate for the Pro Bowl. Rashawn Gary, big-time paid guy that you have there. A linebacker position, there's still some holes there that we need to figure out. Corner position, you know you got Jair. When he's locked in and ready to go, he's one of the best. He is the highest paid, so he is one of the best cornerbacks in the league. And now you just invested more money in the back end at safety. Packers fans should feel good that you're almost to the point where you look at every single level of that defense, you have a playmaker or you have somebody that's good. They're not superstars, but you have somebody that's good. And having a leader like Xavier McKinney in the back, he will make the biggest impact because it's one less thing that you have to worry about as a fan. It's one less thing you have to worry about as a coach as well because you know he's going to consistently bring it on a day-to-day basis for this football team.
I will say about Xavier McKinney, dude played every single snap last year. Every single snap.
That's impressive.
Doesn't matter what the package is, no injuries, no nothing. Dude played every single snap. So this defense, what it needs is reliable playmakers because there are so few reliable playmakers, whether it be because of injury, whether it be because of being out of position, whether it be just not even believing in the scheme that Joe Barry was giving out. So I will say that this defense needs a reliable, consistent playmaker. I think Xavier McKinney can be that. And I'll say this about Xavier McKinney. I'm not trying to give your argument for you.
No, come on.
You're starting to get my blood pumping.
800-990-3776. Brad is going to make the argument now for Xavier McKinney, but we want to know if you want to make an argument for Xavier McKinney or you want to make an argument for Josh Jacobs being the bigger impact on the team in 2024. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, so when it comes to Xavier McKinney, how many plays were playmaking plays last year for the defense? Very few. Xavier McKinney is that ball hawking, make a play guy, and we just never had those impact plays on defense. So I will be excited to see that once again for this Green Bay defense.
How do you feel about who's going to make a bigger impact on the Green Bay Packers next year? Will it be the signing of Josh Jacobs at running back on offense, or will it be the signing of Xavier McKinney on defense? 800-990-3776. Hit us up on the talk and text line. We want to hear from you. Also, stream and watch us live right now on YouTube. Go to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and we want to hear from you there as well. When we come back, we'll have more of this phenomenal, great conversation because now Brad is finally understanding there is only one right answer.
Well, not so fast, Kyle. Not so fast.
Well, we'll talk about why you're saying not so fast more on the other side. Keep it locked. You're listening to KBN on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
I still am in shock that I was asked what my baby was fed. Shout out to Diana McGuanago. Formula or breast milk or breastfeeding. I will get back to you via email, Diana. So pour one out to No More breast milk talk on KBN.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Keep the good times rolling every Sunday with GKB founder and CEO Craig Karmazin on Sunday Karma.
Everyone's using Daniel Jones as why Jordan Love's going to get paid all that money. I think it's the opposite. I think it's what you just hit.
Right.
I think that it's more of like, hey, be careful. Don't just jump into paying someone unless you're sure.
Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin.
Is that how you manage?
That is not how you manage, but that might be the way that the Green Bay Packers organization goes about their business.
It's the way the Green Bay Packers.
We know they go about their business like that.
Sundays from 10 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Hop in or hop online at uwcu.org to join. On Tuesday, the Big Ten announced its all-conference team selections for men's basketball, and 4 Badgers make the list. A.J. Storr headlined the selections, making the All-Big Ten second team, and becomes the first Badger second-team selection since Brad Davison in 2022. Chucky Hepburn and Tyler Wall each earned their second honorable mention accolades in their careers. And freshman John Blackwell became the 9th player in program history to earn Big Ten All-Freshman team accolades. The Badgers are set to tip off Big Ten tournament action Thursday afternoon.
Get no interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Don't wait. You have to order by March 31st. Visit PellaWI.com.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Homer here for Higher Love Cannabis Company. 7 convenient locations spread across the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, including Menominee, Norway, and Ironwood. Experiencing the Higher Love difference is easier than ever. Higher Love is your go-to source for organic, clean, green, certified products. Means you can trust them to provide only the good stuff, not the bad stuff. Higher Love for the Menominee location grand opening, March 23rd, an all-day cookout with freebies and more. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD to learn more and find your nearest location.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace for Universal Windows Direct. Call Universal Windows Direct today at 414-410-2000, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Buy 20, get 20. There is no limit. Call 414-410-2000 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your project. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to universalwindowsdirect.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
If you gave me a chance, I would take it. It's a shot in the dark, but I'll make it. Knowing the little hope you can't shame me when I am with you. There's no place
I may have a shaky relationship with Goody, but there's no fan base I'd rather be a part of than the Green Bay Packer Nation as a fan base. This is KBN here on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Kyle Wallace. He is Brad Nortman. No bid and brust today. He's enjoying the Wisconsin Badgers versus Maryland game, we're assuming, today. Make sure you watch and stream us live on YouTube. Go to YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and watch and stream us live. 800-990-3776. On the other side, we were talking about the two impact players that the Packers signed, hopefully impact players and the big splashes, and them doing something a little different by signing running back Josh Jacobs and signing safety Xavier McKinney in the free agency. And Brad and I were going back and forth on who we believe would make the bigger impact to start next season. And for me, I thought it was Xavier McKinney. Brad, he thought it was Josh Jacobs. Sean in Hartford, who do you believe will make more of an impact in 2024 on the Packers? You're on KBN.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me, guys. I'm going to ask you guys two questions, and you answer honestly, and then you'll have your answer. Okay, impact on the football field. Who touches the ball the most?
Running back.
It's running back.
The quarterback.
I thought talking about between the two, but yeah, okay, the quarterback. Running back.
The quarterback, right? And then who touches the ball the second most?
The running back.
There you go, Brad. You're right.
Oh, let him know.
He'll make the most impact. That makes sense.
So Sean, Sean, wait a minute, Sean. Before you drop the mic, so here's my thing: is when I think about impact, I'm still thinking about. I'm in the mind frame of it was a swap out of players, right? You swapped out Josh Jacobs for Aaron Jones. So I guess that's when I think about overall impact. I'm riding with Xavier McKinney. Do you not believe it was just a swap out? If Aaron Jones was still here, he can make a similar impact?
Well, Josh Jacobs is making up for two players, not just one. Think about this now. He's making up for two players, not one player. At this moment, we have one running back that's going to be impact. And that's your argument right now. You don't have two running backs. Name another one. You don't have another impact running back. You don't. So, and the line of defense, it has to get through so many before it gets to the safety. So I'm going to tell you right now, Josh Jacobs, will make the most impact.
Okay,
there it is.
All right, Sean in Hartford.
And he makes a good point, right? I think we're going to notice Josh Jacobs more. I do agree that the improvement on the defensive side with Xavier McKinney's big, but when it comes to Josh Jacobs, I believe what my eyes tell me when it comes to what this offense is with a capable running game. It's like we've seen that movie before, so I can trust the results when I say that I can legitimately look at the offense now and say, we're done. You don't need to do anymore. You got your quarterback. You got your dog quarterback, I should add. You got a plethora of pass-catching wide receivers. You got two capable ascending tight ends. You've got a confident, strong offensive line that can run and pass block. I mean, you can fill in depth in the draft. Maybe you draft a running back day 2 or day 3. But I just look at what this offense is and I say, okay, there was one big piece that was one big question mark throughout the whole season of 2023. The big question was, is Aaron Jones playing today? How many touches is Aaron Jones getting this week? And the inactives was always a question mark. And then even when he was active, he's only getting 8 touches. He's getting 15 touches. In those games.
The slander that we do. Somebody leaves, just how we do. I hope I never leave the show. Hope I never get cut.
To Aaron Jones's credit, when he had those high-touch games, when he was healthy, you looked at this offense and you go, holy cow, there's no stopping him. That is what I expect to see in 2024 from this offense with a capable, healthy, physical Jacobs.
Well, Sean in Hartford agreed with Brad and thought Josh Jacobs was going to make a big impact. But Nick in Milwaukee, who do you think is going to make a bigger impact? You're on KBN.
Hello, good to talk with you guys this week.
Yes, sir.
Just like on a gun, the most important piece is the safety. Because you cannot fire a gun if the safety is not working right. So defense,
powerful.
The safety affects all 3 levels, especially when he can rush the passer. Now, I haven't looked at McKinney's statistics on sacks, but I know that when we had great safety play, and we've had great safeties over the years, they were able to rush the passer and make plays. And he can fill the box. I expect him to cover the tight ends. You know, they're such a big part of the league now. So McKinney definitely will be an upgrade. And On the running back side, I do think Jones would have had a productive season, and the running back they signed is like a fill-in. So I expect the defense to take leaps, and like you said, everyone's going to be excited because they got a guy who's been there, done that, and can help them better. But my most important thing is the safety, because over the years, you look at playmakers throughout the league, they've been safeties for years and years, and the Packers got a history of those guys: Nick Collins, Charles Woodson, Leroy Butler.
It's been a gap,
you go
Nick.
back to
it's been a big gap.
Blood and
yeah, and here's and Nick, to your point, you're talking about the safety is an important position, and thanks for the call. The safety is considered what of the defense? The quarterback of the defense. That's what the safety is considered, the quarterback of the defense. See, this is the problem. You and some other people here, Chef Ed, we'll get to what you said. You, Brad, Sean, and anybody else who picks Josh Jacobs as the most impactful player in 2024. And again, both are going to make an impact, but one's going to make more of a significant impact. And y'all are stuck on sexy. Sexy is offense. Sexy is who gets to touch the rock more, who gets the camera time. See, that's what y'all stuck on. Y'all stuck on the glamour, the glitz and the glamour. I'm stuck on the dirty work. I'm stuck on what we have somebody here on the ESPN Milwaukee chat, YouTube chat page, and make sure you go and watch and stream us live. And Bob said, listen, sitting back and reading the QB's eyes, making a break on the ball, I see him more at safety. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That's what he's saying about something else. But I'm just talking about in general. Those are the type of things that safeties do, right? They're on the back end. They're the quarterback of the defense. And so being able to have somebody who can be a playmaker and make plays is the most important thing. And it's the things that you don't see. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to see when the safety backpedals and he angles a certain way and the quarterback pump fakes and has to bring the ball down, and then Rashawn Gary or Lucas Van Ness gets a sack. You don't even think about that because they don't have the ball in their hand. They impact the game not as much as a running back, but defensively, maybe even more than a running back.
The thing about Xavier McKinney is, in order to really impact the game, because you're right. You are totally right, Kyle. He's going to impact the game in very inconspicuous ways. You're not going to see the tight coverage because the quarterback doesn't go there. You're not going to necessarily recognize the open field tackle that went for 2 yards and could have went for 15 yards. Those are things that this safety is going to be able to do. He's a playmaker, and he checks every one of the boxes of Coach Hafley's offense or defense. That is for sure. I just think that I project Josh Jacobs to have a big year, and we're going to notice everything that he is doing. So in order to have the impact of what Sean from Hartford was saying of dude's going to have the ball in his hands, dude's going to be scoring points, he's going to make game-breaking moments. And you're right, it's sexy.
Oh, Brad,
and maybe
like
I'm
sexy.
a sucker. Maybe I am a sucker for sexy. I'll admit it, hand in the air right here. But when it comes to the impact, I think you're going to look at most games. There are 17 regular season games and hopefully more that the Packers play into the postseason. I think you're going to look at each game and say, who had bigger impact today? Was it McKinney or was it Josh Jacobs? I think most of those games you're going to say Josh Jacobs had the bigger game, most impactful game.
This is a fun, spirited conversation. I love all the engagement we're getting on the YouTube page. I love the engagement we're getting on the talking text line, which is 800-990-3776. Also, make sure you follow Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on Twitter X, because that is where we have our poll up. And the poll asks, which free agent pickup will have the biggest impact for the Packers in 2024? 148 votes so far, and Brad, it's a boat race.
What are they saying, Kyle?
79% of people say Xavier McKinney will have a bigger impact. This is a boat race so far. There's still a lot of time to go, so make sure you all go to KBN, ESPN, and get in on this poll. But on the other side, we're going to talk to Derek in Lake Geneva so he shares his thoughts and comments on who he believes will have a bigger impact. Again, you can join in on the conversation at 800-990-3776. That is where you can chime in. And don't forget, today's Wednesday. Today's Thursday. And what does Thursday mean?
Over-under.
Over-under. What else does it mean?
Jason Wilde.
What else does it mean?
Take machine.
Take machine. If you want to get in on the take machine and share your takes, there's so many things, whether it's a sports take or whether it's a hot topic take going on in the world. Call in on the take machine at 414-292-9944. That's 414-292-9944. Leave a voicemail. Leave your hot take. We have more conversation on the other side. Keep it locked. You're listening to KBN on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
It's the 1 4-hour at 4 on KBN.
Wow. Just wow.
Has he sound good? We've been practicing.
I did it all last week. I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of my progress.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here to tell you about one of the best purchases I recently made, an infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. It's an easy-to-install sauna that is great for a post-workout, travel, or long-day detoxification, and it has a rapid heat-up time. Using Good Health Saunas can also help reduce stress, improve circulation, and make your skin glow. Got an athlete in your family or just someone with an active lifestyle? Infrared saunas are perfect for muscle and tissue recovery as well. Learn more today at goodhealthsaunas.com. goodhealthsaunas.com.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall, right in downtown Milwaukee. Home to our one-stop, must-stop viewing destination, 3rd Street Market Hall has over 15 locally owned food vendors, a self-serve beer wall with 24 beers on tap, and over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. It's the perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or even over lunch. 3rd Street Market Hall is Milwaukee's downtown home to basketball this March.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service.
It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey.
Riding with you every mile since 1977.
The Boucher Group has exciting news to share with you.
We've expanded to better serve our community.
Introducing Nissan Lake Country, the newest addition to our family.
Step into our showroom and discover our exceptional selection of brand new Nissans.
We're also stocked with the best pre-owned options in the market.
And as we expand, we're not just growing our inventory, we're also growing our team.
So join a team that values your skills and celebrates your success.
Visit us online or in-store today and view our current job listings at bouchercareers.com.
Well, Mike, our family is expanding.
What? You're kidding. We donated the high chair and baby toys a long time ago.
Mike, we're not having a baby. Our PCI family needs to expand.
Oh, whew, you're right. Business keeps growing, and we need more carpenters.
We're looking for experienced full-time carpenters with a variety of skills.
Consider joining our team at Professional Construction, Inc.
Learn more and apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Multiple sclerosis is an unpredictable, often disabling disease of the central nervous system. There is currently no cure for MS. People with multiple sclerosis can better manage their disease when they have support and understanding of people around them. The National MS Society amplifies the stories of people living with MS to raise awareness this week. MS Awareness Week and every single day. We won't stop until the movement we've all been waiting for, when we find a cure for every person living with this disease. To learn more, to donate, or to offer your support, head to nationalmssociety.org.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It all starts next week. We're talking about the Guinness Basketball Hour. This is your chance to enjoy a free pint of Guinness at select locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin. Enjoy the basketball games and a Guinness all month at Hot House, Lucky Chucky's, AJ O'Brady's, Big Sky Country, Magoo's, and Stillery. Tune in next week and follow ESPN Milwaukee on social for the exact dates, times, and locations of the Guinness Basketball Hour. Receive a free pint of Guinness throughout the tournament with the Guinness Basketball Hour.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Look, I'm always trying to get some Milwaukee Bucks in my life, try to be smarter, understand the game more. And there's a weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks that's available to you. It's straight from a fan favorite and a Bucks legend. Tune into the Here District with Marcus Johnson. This is a Bucks Plus audio production. Marcus and his son Chris, a 1995 UCLA hoops champion himself, talk everything happening in the Bucks world. And they're joined by some of the biggest names in basketball. Plus, reach out to them. They're going to answer your questions too. So if you're looking to stay on beat, get more Bucks in your life, hear from these experts, check out the Here District. It's on Bucks.com. It's on Bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app and wherever you get your podcasts. Here District.
And you're hearing us out today. I know it's not Wednesday, but we've been hearing Brad out. You've been hearing me out. We've been hearing you out as well, KBN Nation. When it comes to who do you believe will have the bigger impact on this team, will it be Xavier McKinney or Josh Jacobs in 2024? 800-990-3776. That is the phone number to get in on this conversation. If you have a hot take, like you're really hot about this and you want to share it and you want to be unfiltered, well, you know what you can do? You can call in on our hot take machine, and that is at 414-292-9944. 414-292-9944, and you can leave a message for your hot take. But Derek in Lake Geneva, you want to be the tiebreaker between this, huh? So let us know who will make the biggest impact.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes,
the tie is going to go to the winner. I think it's going to be a tie because those guys are from Alabama. The real winner in this situation is going to be the practice squad. When you get on practice, we just need to draft L.C. Latham, a tackle, or Terrion from Alabama.
J.C. Latham?
So we can get these guys from Georgia who have not been pulling their weight to give them a little competition. But ultimately, it will be Xavier McKinney because we just got to take the ball away, and then we'll have Jacobs to grind out the clock. Unfortunately, that's something that Aaron Jones couldn't do. He handled the ball 6 times, then he has to go out. That's not going to be the case with Josh Jacobs. Thanks, guys.
I like that. First and foremost, I'm sorry I interrupted when he said LC or JC. So JC Latham is actually from Wisconsin. He's a Milwaukee boy. Yeah, he's a Milwaukee kid. So I love the Milwaukee kid. I would love for that tie. But how do you feel about what he had to say?
Well, clearly a Bama fan, and hey, I can't Roll Tide. I can't deny Alabama's, the dudes they churn out, and Georgia does too. But obviously, Goody's history of drafting Georgia guys hasn't quite hit in ways that we expected it to. And these guys, Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney, studs from Alabama. They're physical, they're tough. Look, they do complement one another well. You got a playmaker, a stud on defense, and what he said about Josh Jacobs, it's a great point. I said this earlier in the week that this Packer team, you have to learn to play with a lead. Playing with a lead, it sounds easy, right? Okay, let's just get a lead and hold on to it. But what always happens in NFL games? The lead always shrinks. The team that's always behind comes back at the end, and there's drama at the end of the game. If you're going to be an elite team, if you're going to be an annual Super Bowl contender, you have to learn how to play with a lead. Walk through the door, welcome into Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is a guy that you can hand the ball off to. You can drain clock. You can get first downs when the other defense is trying to get you off the field. We said this earlier in the week. Josh Jacobs, in his 2022 campaign when he was the lead rusher in the NFL, dude had 1,000 yards on first down alone. Think about what that can do for running the ball out and for ball control at the end of the game. So to me, again, Josh Jacobs, ball in his hand, someone that Jordan Love can lean on consistently. I think that's just a bigger impact. I think McKinney's going to be amazing, but Josh Jacobs, tote the rock, baby.
800-990-3776. That's the ESPN Wisconsin Talking Text Line. And on the Talking Text Line, our good buddy Chef Ed, he said, listen, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
He said it's Josh Jacobs. He actually said, come on, Kyle, are you drunk? I am not drunk. I am very, very sober right now. I do not. I do not. I mean, 2:38 maybe on a Saturday, but not on a Friday, or excuse me, on a Thursday. Definitely not that. And again, I understand it. I get where you all are coming from, but I think a lot of people are into the sexy. Again, Dave from Aaron, he also said, I'm with Kyle. I also think McKinney will also raise the play of other guys like Stokes. I think our secondary is going to go from a weakness to a feared defense with that signing.
Well, I can't remember the last time our secondary was feared. Probably back when Charles Woodson was leading the way. You had Nick Collins and you had those dudes back there when they won a Super Bowl. But Kyle, I got to ask, do you think that McKinney's impact, because people might say, well, he's a safety, right? He's sort of in the back. Maybe defensive line matters more over the course of a defense. Like, how much value is a safety? Do you give Xavier McKinney more value because of how it might fit in Hafley's system and how he already put his perch on that of needing to be a guy?
I think you said it right, system, right? Because everybody's system has different value on what piece of the defense, right? And most times, safeties are very important because they are the last line of defense. They are the person that needs to be over the top. A lot of times, they are the ones who are dictating the back. When you're talking about coverages, dictating and directing, and in control
behind them and the whole thing.
I mean, because
when
a safety gets beat, you're in trouble. That's not what you want. That's usually put your best sure tackler. When you're youth football, you put a really good sure tackler, a skinnier guy who's not a lineman. You say, hey, I'm going to put him back there because he's fast and he can make tackles everywhere on the field. And so based off the system of what Jeff Hafley said he needed, it seemed like that safety position, either he was angling for something, but I don't think he needed to do that, or he was just being real. And I think with him being real, he spoke glowingly about that position and what he exactly wanted, and he had that feel. So that's why I believe, and again, we have not seen the system. You're absolutely right. We don't know what we're going to get from this new defensive system, but you're talking to an optimist here, right? You're talking to somebody, if somebody from the green and gold say something, I'm going to believe it. I have no reason not to. All they've done my whole life is win a lot of football games. So if Matt LaFleur made a decision to hire Jeff Hafley, and Jeff Hafley said, hey, I need a guy who can do X, Y, and Z at safety. I need somebody who can fly around and make great plays, the perfect football player. And then we see our GM who always sits on his hands. He never acted in the Green Bay Packers organization. We said, hey, we would be happy if the Green Bay Packers actually do something in free agency, and they actually do it, and it's at a safety position, at a position of need, a position that your defensive coordinator asked for. That's why I believe that his impact will be greater. Not diminishing the impact Josh Jacobs is going to make. Again, I repeat, both players better make an impact with all the money they're being paid.
True.
But I think Xavier McKinney, at the end of the day, we'll look at the end of the season, we'll say, damn, Goody did a good job.
I got a follow-up question for you, because we're talking about on-field production right now. But what has been created? What void has been created with Aaron Jones leaving? Leadership, right? Mm-hmm. We both know that Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney wore that C on their shoulder.
Our boy Ben did tell us that.
So let me ask you this. We don't really know McKinney and Jacobs personally. Which side of the ball needs a leader more, offense or defense?
That's a good question. And I believe the defense needs a leader, right? Because when you look at football teams, the quarterback, and I think you talked about it earlier this week, or whoever called in on our show. We have so many great people who call in on our show.
So many great KBN
Willie,
Nation.
so many people part of KBN Nation. But at the position of quarterback, there's an expectation of leadership that you just assume. When you are the quarterback of the football team, regardless if you're a rookie or you are a 40-year-old veteran like Aaron Rodgers, immediately when you step on that field, everybody goes to that huddle and they look to you. On defense, it can be a lot of different positions. A lot of times it's either going to be that linebacker position talking about a Ray Lewis or that safety position talking about a Troy Polamalu. That is what you're looking for. And with the Packers potentially getting a guy that people can look to and have that confidence and knowing that he's going to handle it, that's important. So, I mean, on the defensive side of the ball, I think that is where it's most important to have some type of leadership there. And I know Aaron Jones was a big piece on the offense, but I think having him on the defense, Xavier McKinney could fill that void defensively for this team.
It's crazy to think about, because if you look at the age distribution, it's so young on offense. And all the guys, anyone who's old, they're on the defensive side, right? You got Preston Smith and Kenny Clark and Jair. That's like your 31-year-old, 28-year-old, and 26-year-old. I agree with you, though, which makes me tilt a little bit closer to McKinney, that I think the defense needs an identity. I think they need a leader. I think they need a dude. Now, hold on. I'm still going to say Josh Jacobs. I'm still going to say him. But I think the defense needs an identity. I think they need a vocal leader. I think they need a guy that they can get excited behind. Because the guys that are playmakers, they don't seem to be very vocal, right? Between Gary and Preston Smith and Kenny Clark and Jair Alexander, they're not the leader you're looking for. I think the void of leadership is bigger on the defense. So maybe McKinney can be more impactful that way. On the offensive side of the ball, Jordan Love has to be and will be that leader. That guy is the consistent thread, the anchor of this team, not only the offense, but the team. I don't think Josh Jacobs' role as a leader will be as needed on the offensive side of the ball.
I'm loving this conversation. I really am, because we're talking Packers, and we're talking about not just Packers, But we get to talk about the Packers signing 2 really good players, right? We get to have a debate and a conversation about who's going to make a bigger impact in 2024. We're not talking about Devin Funchess being signed in an impact. We're not talking about, Sammy Hammy Watkins making an impact. We're not talking about some off-the-street dude like and again, no shot to Rasul Douglas whatsoever because he made a great contribution and he came in on the Packers and did a great job, but Devondre Campbell. But we're talking about dudes. We're talking about guys that are being paid in top 5 at their position because they are top 5 players. That should be exciting to everyone. But you know what else is exciting, Brad?
What's that?
Underdog fantasy. And that's what I want you all to get in the game. I'm sitting here and I'm watching the Badger game. I'm upset because the Badgers, as they absolutely destroyed Maryland 65-29. I'm upset because I didn't get to get my underdog picks in time. But you know what? Old Bucky Badger's going to be playing tomorrow, and guess who's going to be making his picks higher or lower? It will be me, and I want you to enjoy doing that just like I do by downloading the Underdog Fantasy Sports app today. They have a great pick'em fantasy game, and here's how it works. You pick between 2 to 5 players from at least 2 different teams. You select higher or lower on those player stats. If your pick hits, you can win up to 100 times your money. Yes, 100 times your money. It is so easy and so fun to play. So I want you to download the easy-to-use mobile app today or visit UnderdogFantasy.com. And when you sign up, make sure you use promo code KBN. That is promo code KBN. And Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, they'll give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry. Remember, that's promo code KBN, and you can join me and get the Underdog Fantasy app and enhance all of your basketball watching fun. Make sure you are 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms to apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Get in the game with Underdog Fantasy. But when we come back, we'll continue this conversation. We'll see you. We see your talk text. We see your talk. We see your text. We'll have over under on the other side. Chris, you're just going to have to say, we got over under next. Or we got it at 3:00.
We have it coming up right next.
We got over.
Let's go.
So we got over.
Callers.
We got over under coming up next. We need caller 6 and caller 9. Over under is going to be the Brad and Kyle edition of over under. And what are they playing for? They get a chance to win what?
$50 gift card.
Ooh, $50 gift card. 800-990-3776. Over under. We're looking for caller 6.
Caller 6 will have their choice of the over or the under. Caller 9 will be stuck on the other side.
Oh, I'm so glad we have Mr. Chris here today. So again,
he's the backbone.
He is the backbone.
He's the backbone.
800-990-3776. Over under coming up next here on KBN.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
You agree with me? Lola Bunny on your algorithm shaking her butt?
It's people on my Facebook sharing stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Lola the Bunny was kind of strapped.
Okay, here's as far as I'm... All I'll be able to say is I get why Bugs was so love drunk over Lola. I get it. That's as far as I can go to you.
Look at this. Google Lola the Bunny.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I cannot imagine that there's any way that he missed the game because he's unhappy that the game was on turf. I think that's preposterous to me.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30.
I thought they looked great. I got to be honest, I think that's what I kind of expected from the Packers.
Presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Also sponsored by Construction Business Group and Island Resort and Casino.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because our home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's March Mania time at all Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships.
5 seconds left. Drives, scores!
That means choosing from the area's biggest selection plus saving thousands from the Midwest top-ranked automotive dealer. Your nearby Kunis Auto Group dealership featuring America's #1 rated starting lineup from Buick and GMC. At nearby locations in both Greenfield and Oak Creek, we've got the only March Mania sales event in the Milwaukee Metro Region where everyone's a winner.
For the lead, bullseye!
We're putting on a full-court press to sell over 500 new and used vehicles in March. No other competitor can go one-on-one with the deals from the Kunis Auto Group team. Our Kunis sales MVPs lead the league and assist to our customers. So getting the vehicle of your needs at a price and payment you can afford is a slam dunk. Plus, we're paying above top Kelley Blue Book values on all trade-ins no matter what the mileage or condition, so buy like a champion today at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealership or online at shopkunis.com.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 3 million active members. They are the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. All you do, pick more or less on a 2 to 6 player stat projection and watch the winnings roll in. Whether it's tournament season or the fight for playoff home court, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. Prize Picks even offers injury insurance so that your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets hurt. For basketball games, if you have a player who exits the game in the first half and does not return in the second, Prize Picks will have your back and not count that as a loss. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions and special offers for the biggest moments in sports. Download the app today and use code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code WI on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202.
Picture your perfect KFC meal. Then, picture the perfect price. You're thinking of the $20 taste of KFC meal. Everything you love about KFC in one meal. 6 pieces of original recipe chicken. 4 sides, including creamy mashed potatoes and gravy, sweet corn, fresh coleslaw, and cheesy mac and cheese. And don't forget 4 flaky biscuits. The $20 taste of KFC meal. All your favorites for just $20. KFC, it's finger-licking good. Prices and participation may vary. Tax, tips, and fees extra.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It is KBN here on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Brad Nortman, the former NFL player, 6-year NFL player. And this is KBN. Chris holding it down on the other side. And it is time for over-under. And on the over, Chris, again, you know I'm rusty with doing all this. Now, so do I throw to the music first, or do I say Justin in Lakeville has the over and Andy and Hartford has the under?
Music first.
Okay,
Here
so
we go with the open.
Yep. Thanks for co-hosting.
Dad won at school.
Will the guys hit the over or will they disappoint? It's time for Over Under on Kyle Bruston Nortman.
All right, we're here for Over and Under here on KBN. And Justin in Lake Villa has the over, and Andy in Hartford has the under. Now, so Chris will give us a question, and we'll have to figure out how many names we can come up with. Chris, what do we have today?
Today's category is the top 10 NFL running backs with the most rushing yards last season. The top 10 NFL running backs with the most rushing yards last season, and the over-under is set at 6.5.
Okay.
How you feel about this, Brad?
Okay. Not great.
You don't feel great about it?
Like, I think we're gonna get like to 3 or 4, and then be like, who do we say now?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of dual running backs out there that share the load, but
dang.
Okay.
I was called. I don't know first names. All right, Chris. I guess
you guys ready to start the clock?
We are ready to start the clock.
Right. In 3, 2, 1.
Kyron Williams. He had a really good year, didn't he? From the Rams.
Yeah.
I feel like Kyron Williams. Are we good with final answer?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Nice job,
Kyren
Kyle.
Williams, number 3 on the list with 1,144 rushing yards last season.
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey, yeah, good answer.
Final
answer, I'm sorry.
Christian McCaffrey, number 1 on the list with 1,459 rushing yards last season.
Okay.
How about Breece Hall? He was healthy most of the
and Breece Hall put up some numbers. I like that one.
Breece Hall.
Final.
Dang.
Okay.
Raheem Mostert?
What about Saquon? I mean, Saquon was healthy all year.
Saquon's probably on the list. Yeah, Saquon Barkley.
Yep, final.
Oh, gosh. Okay, wait a minute now. All right, let's recalibrate now.
Okay.
Saquon did get hurt last
I don't
year,
think
too.
anyone in the NFC North did. Either they struggled or they split carries.
Yeah. Who's in the AFC South?
Well, Jonathan Taylor was he? Did he have?
He missed the first 4 games.
The Jags guy is
Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne. Final answer. Wow, heck, we're struggling.
We stink. We can't get. We can't get another wrong.
Wait a minute. Okay. All right. Let's Pittsburgh Steelers. I feel like Joe Mixon didn't have all those years, all those yards.
Okay, Derrick Henry.
Final answer.
Derrick Henry, number 2 on the list with 1,167 rushing yards last season.
Austin Eckler was out for a lot of the year.
You guys have the top 3 as of right now.
I don't think Josh Jacobs did.
Who was the
the
running back for Seattle? He got hurt too, but he had a pretty decent year.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now.
Dang.
Brutal. Not
brutal.
Tony Pollard for the Cowboys. I don't think so.
He maybe Pollard.
The Eagles split carries between Swift.
Does Swift have? Man,
1 minute.
I should have known this one a little bit better. Swift.
I don't think anyone with the Texans.
Yeah, they had Damian Pierce who did. Oh gosh.
I don't think anyone for.
Well, we're just gonna
Commanders.
Nope.
We're gonna have to start guessing. Well, I mean, we only get one wrong answer.
Josh Jacobs can't be on the list. Who else is in the?
Unless he is
Isaiah Pacheco. Okay,
Pacheco's not bad.
Do you want to do Pollard,
seconds.
Swift, or Mostert? I feel Mostert had a good year, but then he got hurt.
Yeah. Who would you say? Okay.
Mostert, Pollard, Swift.
Let's do Pollard.
Tony Pollard. Final answer.
Wow. That was the most shameful over under.
Yeah, that was rough.
That
10,
part about this show.
9,
That was rough.
8.
Yeah.
I don't.
All right, let's go over the list here. So you guys got the top 3. Started off good. You got the top 3 answers: Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, and Kyren Williams. Number 4 on the list was James Cook with
for Buffalo?
1,122 rushing yards from the Bills.
Wow.
I would have gotten.
Number 5, you mentioned his name, DeAndre Swift with the Eagles, 1,049 rushing yards.
Did he put up
These
that much?
are some low numbers though. 1,049 rushing
Number
yards.
6 was James Conner from the Arizona Cardinals with 1,040 rushing yards. Number 7, let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7 on the list was Najee Harris with 1,035.
I thought about
yards.
Najee, but he didn't score any touchdowns.
Yeah, he was on my fantasy football team, and he just kept letting me down.
Yeah, he never scored touchdowns. Had like 80 yards a game.
Number 8 on the list, who you guys mentioned also, Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon
with
did make the list.
1,034 rushing yards.
Gosh.
Dang.
Number 9, you guys mentioned nobody in the NFC North had over a top 10 rusher, but David Montgomery from the Lions.
With
1,015 rushing yards last
wow.
season. And number 10 was another name you mentioned, Raheem Mostert with 1,012 rushing yards.
Wow.
All right, so we mentioned Mixon, we mentioned Mostert, and we mentioned Swift. Would that have given us the win? 1, 2, 3.
I would have gave you 6, and it was 6.5.
And I wouldn't have believed it was Harris. I apologize to Justin.
I feel bad. I feel bad. That was an embarrassing performance.
And Travis Etienne did fall 4 yards short of the top 10 at 1,008 yards.
So
Tony Pollard fell 7 yards short at 1,005. Breece Hall, who we mentioned, 994 rushing yards.
Oh, so those were super close.
So they were
those
close,
last ones
yes.
were very close.
So how many yards did the leading rusher have in the NFL this year?
McCaffrey 1,459, and then second was Henry at 1,167.
The NFL is not the old NFL. Guys they used to always have like 1,100, 1,200 yards, 1,300 yard rushers.
Yeah, I mean, usually, I remember in the 90s and early 2000s, it would be a guy with like 1,700 yards was
Yeah.
the league leader. The different league we're playing in now. That's why Jordan Love's going to be getting $50 million a year.
Yeah, you know what? It makes me think about a question that we're going to ask.
Josh Jacobs was 25th on the list with 805 rushing yards. Lamar Jackson actually had more at 821.
But y'all so quick to get rid of Aaron Jones.
That's right.
Y'all quick to get Mr. 25.
The Raiders were a mess last year. They had terrible
Packers
line.
were a mess to start the year too.
Not their
we
O-line.
lost to the Raiders.
Not their O-line. Their O-line was always good.
They were pretty. Once they solidified themselves. So I guess congratulations to Andy and Hartford. You both can hang up. Andy, hold on. Andy, hold on. Justin, sorry. I feel bad.
Yeah, me too. It should be better. There were some different names on that list. James Conner. Cook, Najee Harris, those are ones that I would not anticipate.
There's a lot of average
Sneaky
guys.
Good category, Chris.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in myself. 800-990-3776. That's the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. And next, we'll talk a little bit about a guy named Emmanuel Acho and his, I guess maybe his hot take. I don't know, Brad. We'll break that down next. Keep it locked. You're listening to KBN here on ESPN Wisconsin.
Make it a real Mad March with a playoff payout at Potawatomi. Every week you could score your share of $100,000 in cash and free play. Play this March for drawing entries. Win each Thursday. Plus, the prizes refresh every week for even more winners. The playoff payout at Potawatomi, Milwaukee. It's anyone's game. For more details, visit paysbig.com/payout. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh for the Bath Authority, and if your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew or broken tiles, you gotta call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Call 414-249-6934 to schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com, a better bath awaits.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm here with Dr. Chris Killian. Doctor, what makes an OAW surgeon different?
A very unique factor I think that we have at our group is that every single surgeon here is fellowship trained, meaning everyone has gone through specialty training in their specific area of focus. So if you come to get your knee replaced or if you come to see me and get your shoulder done, every single person that you come and see has specific advanced training in that field.
You mentioned that your specialty is shoulders. Shoulder issues can be complicated. How do you approach your patients?
Shoulder injuries are incredibly common with either young athletes or especially as people age, people develop shoulder issues, whether it's rotator cuff issues, arthritis. So we can get a sense of it ahead of time based on what their exam is like, what their MRI is like, what they're doing in therapy. But you're right, there's a wide breadth of surgeries that luckily we have a vast array of treatments for.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
This is KBN on ESPN Wisconsin and ESPN Wisconsin, Wisconsin On Demand as well. Definitely tune in and watch and stream us live on YouTube. Go to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and click and watch us stream live on YouTube. Also got coming up here in the 3 o'clock hour, we got Jason Wilde coming up in about 15 minutes. We also have the Take Machine. If you want to get in on the Take Machine, make sure you share your hot take at 414-292-9944. We want to hear from you. We want to get your hot takes. And speaking of hot takes, Emmanuel Acho shared a hot take about this offseason, and I know a lot of people are excited about the Green Bay Packers and the 2 signings that they made. And Emmanuel Acho said he wanted to share some of his 2 cents as well. Chris, let's see what Emmanuel had to say.
I think the biggest winner of NFL free agency today, Jordan Love.
I'm not going to talk about an organization. I'll talk about a person. Jordan Love last year, we saw him grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Remember, the Packers weren't even convinced in Jordan Love last year, so they've signed him to that hybrid long-term, hybrid short-term. We'll give you a 2-year deal because we don't necessarily want to pick up your option. And he took them to the playoffs, won a playoff game, went to Dallas and dismantled the Dallas Cowboys at home, where the Cowboys, I believe Dave Hellman had won maybe 16 or so consecutive games.
Thanks for bringing that up.
That's what Jordan Love did. But now imagine Jordan Love having Josh Jacobs in the backfield. Now, Aaron Jones is a dude.
He is a dude.
But Josh Jacobs, in my mind, can play the part of A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones without having to be subbed out. He has the punch and power of A.J. Dillon, and he has the speed of Aaron Jones. And then defensively, you add Xavier McKinney, who always made some foolish decisions off the field. On the field, Xavier McKinney at safety is an absolute beast, an absolute animal. I love what the Packers have done, most specifically for Jordan Love.
That was Emmanuel Acho from Speak on FS1. Now, Brad, I know you and I are both excited about the signings of Xavier McKinney and also of Josh Jacobs. But is the biggest winner Jordan Love of this offseason from those two moves?
Look, I just sang Josh Jacobs' praises for the first hour of our program today. But this is going a little bit too far, in my opinion. I mean, gosh, Jordan Love being the particular recipient of being the most the biggest benefactor of free agency being specifically Jordan Love, I'm not sure I see that. I think the Packers are in the top 5 of best free agency season of the entire NFL, but the Packers in general, not Jordan Love. It's not like they went out there and signed a wide receiver 1 and a left tackle to replace David Bakhtiari. The running game will help Jordan Love a lot, right? A significant running game too. But if Josh Jacobs is doing his job, that's kind of going to take away from Jordan Love's production. It's going to make the offense do better, but it's going to take away a little bit from Jordan Love's production, share it, and give it a little bit to Josh Jacobs. Now, on the defensive side of the football, I mean, that's just going to help the Packers team in general. I don't know how it directly helps Jordan Love, unless you say he just needs to score less points. But look, I think the Packers as a team are a top 5 best free agency this season. No doubt about it. But to say that specifically Jordan Love is the winner of the entire free agency period, it seems strange to me. They didn't get a pass catcher. They didn't get offensive line. They did something that will help him indirectly. But come on, this is just a little too far, Emmanuel.
800-990-3776. That's the ESPN Wisconsin talk-in text line. And Brad was talking about a response to Emmanuel Acho from Speak on FS1, where he said Jordan Love is the biggest winner of this offseason. And I'm right there with you, man. Like, listen, Jordan Love is a winner. The Packers are the winner, but the Packers didn't go out there and solidify this team by, like you said, grabbing guys at a whole bunch of different positions that he's going to throw the ball to. They didn't solidify it. Again, they cut David Bakhtiari, which we all agree was a good move to get rid of David Bakhtiari. And I am a fan of Rasheed Walker, and I think he's serviceable. I think he's a good left tackle. But he ain't no stud left tackle. You know what I'm saying? And when you talk about the guard position, John Runyon was your starting right guard. Sean Ryan came in and got some snaps and got some reps, but John Ryan Jr. was your starting right guard. He gone too. And so it ain't like the Packers went out there and they made all these different moves to make sure they're putting Jordan Love in a position to be successful. And again, Josh Jacobs, good running back. But statistically speaking, when you look at 2023 season, him and Aaron Jones aren't too far apart. And so I like the fact that we're not going to have a drop-off in the running back position. But to sit here and say that Jordan Love is the biggest winner of this offseason when you got a guy like Lamar Jackson who just got a dude who was top 3 running back last year for yards and Derrick Henry on his team in his backfield. So getting a consistent running back in the backfield, when you talk about the Atlanta Falcons, and I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. But they do, and they got a quarterback now. And if they believe they're a quarterback away, that's a win probably for the Falcons as well. So look at Kyle Pitts' numbers. That man probably has less than 10 touchdowns in his first 3 seasons or 2 seasons in the NFL. So is Jordan Love, is it a positive? Absolutely. But the biggest winner? 800-990-3776. John in Menominee Falls, you have a question about the off-field issues.
Yeah, the last recording that you guys played, he said Xavier McKinney hasn't made the best decisions off the field, and I was wondering if you could shed some light on what those issues were.
Yeah, so to my understanding, the big offseason scare, let's put it, is I think it was last offseason or the season before, he was on a ATV and it flipped over. Now, this is I don't believe this was alcohol involved. I don't think there's been any issues like that. But this was a thing where it was maybe some behavior of like, why did you do that? Why are you on an ATV? It flipped over. I think he broke his hand. I think he was at risk of losing 3 fingers. He obviously didn't.
In Mexico.
In Mexico. Yep. So I think I think that was a specific behavior that made you just question it. Almost like, remember when, I think it was Jason Pierre-Paul?
It sure was, the fireworks.
I think
he lost some fingers.
And he did lose some fingers. I think when that happens, I think team executives, coaches, they just grow concerned. Like, okay, we had a scare. What were you thinking at the time? How's your decision making? Are we going to be afraid that you're going to do that again? I don't believe there's any character issues. I think that maybe that this was a moment of, I don't know the specifics around it. I think that's what he's referring to. It's not a huge concern to me, but yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, 23-years go to Mexico and they go travel and they go do things that...
It was like a sightseeing tour. Yeah, I don't think it was like he wasn't wild.
He wasn't doing anything wild, and it might be, and Brad, you played in NFL, and so would that be something that may be against your contract, maybe doing some indulging in those type of fun activities? I know NFL's the no fun league. Does it extend off the field too?
And here's what they do. They put in your contract something called a non-football injury, an NFI. What that basically means is if you get injured doing anything, that's anything outside the building, they can basically void your contract. So it's a very serious thing. It happens from time to time. Sometimes teams will be nice and say, okay, you got injured carrying your child and you tore your ACL, whatever. Maybe they won't take off your contract, whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's a real thing. I didn't do certain things when I was a player because I want to protect these beautiful legs.
What did you avoid doing?
Well, I never like downhill ski. Yeah.
Are your legs beautiful? I know, just not to be.
Oh yeah.
Not to get too off task, and we'll get right back on topic. We'll talk a little bit more about Emmanuel Acho and Jordan Love. But when somebody says, drops a little nugget that they have beautiful legs, do you actually think that?
Yes, I do. I do think they're beautiful legs.
Based off, I know they're very talented.
They're long, they're lean. I wouldn't say they're beautiful to look at, but they're beautiful in what they do and what they did.
Hey, okay, that sounds good. Because I'm actually one that think I have some decent looking legs. This wouldn't be the first.
You got good legs?
I think I do. They a lot of bit ashy now, but I feel like I got nice looking legs.
Do you have good calves? Because I think I've got pretty good calves, and that's why I like wearing shorts partially. Because I kind of like how the calves look.
So I thought I had good calves until I realized that once I kind of got skinnier and I didn't work out as much, my calves aren't as nice as I thought they were. I feel like my legs are nice and proportionate. I got a little thicker lower body, but when I lost 30 pounds back during the pandemic, and I don't feel as solid and thick as I once was. When you go from a boy in 200s to 180 something like that, you don't feel as bulky anymore.
Yeah, you want to hear a funny story? So when I met Lexi in college, this was sophomore year at Wisconsin. We met in the wintertime. So I wear pants all the time and stuff. But she said to me something like she thought nice calves were hot. So when spring rolled around, I started wearing shorts. I'm taking the stairs. I'm doing some calf raises before we hang out, trying to get those calves looking like rocks on my legs. So Lexi says, man, this dude is a man.
Yeah.
He's a man I can spend my life with.
And that's exactly what she did.
It worked.
A man who I can spend the rest of my life with interviewing?
Who's that?
Jason Wilde.
Oh, yeah.
We will have Jason J. Wilde joining us next. He's going to give his reaction to everything, whether it's the Jordan Love being the winner of this offseason. He'll let us know as well of who he thinks is the biggest impact, but you got to keep it locked because we have Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch coming up next here on KBN.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
That is completely unacceptable. It is unacceptable for a team to
unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Is acceptable? Unacceptable?
Unacceptable.
Unaccessible. Wait.
What?
Wait. My mind is
unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
What did I say?
Unacceptable.
My mouth and brain
unacceptable.
Are not
unacceptable.
Right now.
What did I say?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Couple of accidents to deal with right now. First of all, westbound 94 at Highway SS in Waukesha County. Right lane's blocked, so we got localized delays right past that scene. Also one on 41 northbound at Appleton Avenue. That's got the right lane blocked as well. So that's got big backups coming up from Capitol Drive up to that point. On the southbound side, folks slowing down, take a look at this. And we've also got delays basically from before Good Hope Road all the way down past Hampton. Traffic is brought to you by the Delafield Brew House. Enjoy Nagawicked Pale Ale Beer Battered Cod at the Delafield Brew House. Available Fridays for lunch and dinner. Drink ale, live lager, the Delafield Brew House. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies with a low of 35. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds early, then mostly cloudy with a high of 48. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Football guy.
Good morning, Tausch. How are you?
Football guy.
Old T's a little, I'm not feeling 100%. Tell me,
coming at it from different views.
No, just I think with all that little stuff that's going around and you had the long trip back from the loo. I'm going to grind.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Gabe Neitzel here. I know you've already heard me talking about how Mentality has helped me over the years, but there are others like me. Jason has been using Mentality for a while now and is loving the results.
I have gotten a handful of friends, probably a couple dozen, especially those that are closer to my age, maybe even a little bit older, because I just tell them, you got to check this out. Do not wait any longer. Just go and admit it. Yep, you're at an age where things are slowing down. I promise you, you're not going to regret it, and that's truly what I get. I'll get a phone call after, like, man, I feel like a kid at Chuck E. Cheese right now.
Learn more today at LowTUSA.com.
Are you tired of looking at a dirty, dusty, and cracked garage and looking for a fresh new look? Hi, this is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I'm here to tell you about Floor Shield by Showtime Floors. Using a state-of-the-art coating 4 times stronger than traditional epoxy, it's tough enough to be used in military bases and airports. Floor Shield is certified as an anti-slip floor and also eco-friendly, all while being UV stable, and my favorite part, easy to clean. This makes it perfect for outdoor spaces, just like your patio. Check it out at ShowtimeFloors.com and work with a specialist to transform your space in as little as one day.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the Deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Wisconsin is still cattle country, and that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Bunzels.com.
You're listening to Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Tell me now, do you want it? 'Cause these dancing feet don't cry to the rhythm they cry for you. And every Saturday night that you ain't keep my tears blue. And these blinding lights, they shine so bright like we're on the moon.
Oh, you know what that music means. It means it's time for Jason J. Wilde from Wilde and Tausch, which you can hear weekdays here on ESPN Wisconsin, 9 a.m. to noon. Jason, welcome into KBN with no B today.
So I say KN.
Yeah, your two favorites, right?
Love KN. Don't tell them.
I love it. Jason. But Jason, just getting right to it, man. You know how I feel about this whole losing of Aaron Jones, and I'm still processing it, but you're somebody who takes emotion out of things, unlike me. Now that the dust has settled, are you like, do you think this was the right move to make, moving on from Aaron Jones the way that the Packers did?
Well, I was accused this morning of maybe not taking the emotion out of it on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And I look, I have no, I like Aaron Jones. He's a really good dude, and he's a really good football player. And but I don't have, it's not like he's one of, as I like to say, my guys. He's everybody's guy, right? We all have that friend, too, right, who you think he's your best friend, but there's 20 other people that think the same way because that's the kind of guy he is, right? And so I think that's how Aaron Jones is with the media, and I'm sure Kevin Seifert and Ben Gessling and all the guys that cover the team up in Minnesota are going to experience that firsthand when he gets there. But, my issue is not with Aaron Jones or even being protective of Aaron Jones. My issue is with the idea that 1 minute you're telling us, as Brian Gutekunst, that he's absolutely going to be back and how important he is and how he's the heartbeat of your team. And then, and again, I have no reason to think that this reporting is inaccurate. Your final offer to him was for less than $4 million a year, plus some incentives. I mean, again, I understand it's a business. I get that. I understand that I am predisposed to choose older veteran players over young guys. That all said, switching from him to Josh Jacobs could turn out to be a brilliant and obviously the right move if they get the production from Jacobs and he stays healthy. I think what bothers me is the false narrative of Aaron Jones is injury prone and he's not durable. There are lots of games where there's a lot of games where he didn't get, 15, 20 carries, but that was the play caller's decision. That wasn't his decision. And I can also cite a bunch of those games in which the play caller, whether it was Mike McCarthy or Matt LaFleur, said afterward, I should have gotten him more involved. So, the stat that I really like is that over the past 5 seasons, Aaron Jones has missed a total of 10 games, and 6 of them were this past season. And one of those other 4 was when they clinched the number 1 seed and LaFleur sat everyone that was important. Josh Jacobs, over the last 5 seasons, which he's been in the league for 5 years, has missed 10 games due to injury. So technically 1 more than Aaron Jones has. Now, that doesn't mean that Aaron Jones will be durable moving forward. And if you think that the hamstring and knee injuries that he sustained this season are a harbinger of more injury issues to come, then, and that factored into your decision, fine. That's fine if Goody thought that. That's a totally reasonable supposition to make. I would argue that Aaron Jones and his elite level of conditioning and work ethic, I'm guessing that someone with less powerful leg muscles probably would have torn their ACL in that play against the Chargers because he thought he had torn his ACL. Bottom line is they're going with Josh Jacobs. I suppose there's an outside chance they bring back A.J. Dillon. I don't think that's a likelihood, but it's a possibility. I think they probably draft somebody, and their 3 running backs are Emmanuel Wilson, Josh Jacobs, and a rookie to be named later. But the bottom line is this could turn out to be a very smart move, but like all these moves, we make fun of all these other teams, fan bases, and beat writers who talk about everything they did in March and joke about how they won the offseason. Well, right now, with Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs, Packers fans are feeling that euphoria of winning the offseason. But those guys now have to deliver on what they've been paid.
Speaking on delivering what they've been paid, I'm going to try to have you put your September goggles on. And I want you to tell us, because we've been debating this all show, who do you think will have a bigger impact on the Packers, McKinney or Jacobs?
I think this is still a pass-first offense. I think it's a pass-first league. So I think Jacobs will certainly have an impact, but I don't know. Is he going to be is he going to be better than a healthy Aaron Jones? Because if he's just sort of about the same, and whoever else he shares, carries with. Obviously, he will share fewer carries with his backup than Aaron Jones did with A.J. Dillon. But I would think that given this defense, given what we've been told by Jeff Hafley, and given this promotion that I keep hearing on the air about KBN and this guy Kyle Wallace talking about how he's the perfect fit and he's exactly what the Packers needed at an important position, I'm going to say Xavier McKinney.
Jason, I love that. You know what, Jason? We're in perfect harmony today. I like that. I like what you're saying. When you're talking
Ebony and Ivory, buddy.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And talking about the offseason and the Packers fans talking about offseason. Listen, the regular season isn't one in March. It's one in, throughout September through January and into February. If you had to kind of rate where Goody's at, do you think Goody has more work to do when it comes to this offseason? Because I feel like there's still some holes and voids that need to be filled. Are you feeling good about what Goody has done so far? Would you be satisfied if he was done making moves for the free agency?
I think if you're a Packers fan, you can feel really good about two really big-time names and big-time contracts that he paid out in free agency. At the same time, he likes to say personnel is a 365-day-a-year job. Obviously, this year it'll be 366 with the leap day. But I don't think he's anywhere near being able to be done because they still only have really one legit safety. They've got Anthony Johnson Jr., who they drafted in the 7th round a year ago. They've got Benny Sapp III, who they were excited about late in the year, at least as a special teams guy, who had been an undrafted free agent that had been on the practice squad for most of the year. But they don't, I would say they don't really have a starting caliber second safety to pair with Xavier McKinney, and they certainly don't have a whole lot of depth.
Well, are they going to draft or sign one? What do you think?
Well, I think with what has gone now, again, this is where my bias comes in. Brad Nortman would still be punting for me if I was the GM.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't know. what kind of shape are you in? I haven't seen it.
It's like riding the bike. I could get back on. I could do a little bit of both. I could do a little bit of radio, and I could do mostly punting. I got you, Jason.
Yeah, and then investment, all kinds of stuff. You're
Yes,
you're a 5-tool player.
Yes.
Or just a tool, depending on how people do it. But look, with the number of safeties that were cast out onto the market, I would think there's another one coming. Someone of that Rudy Ford, Jonathan Owens, Tavarius Moore ilk. Remember, he threw a bunch of one-year contracts out there last year to see who would be worthwhile.
That's not good
and look, well, but here's the thing. I think the quality of those guys now is higher than what was available a year ago. Look, the guy I like is Justin Simmons. I understand that he's 30 years old.
Dream situation.
Dream.
Yeah, Packers don't want anybody that old on their team, apparently. But I really like him. I mean, the guy's a 4-time All-Pro, so there's a lot to like. He's only played in Denver. He feels like the kind of guy that if he's available, maybe you make an exception in his case. He's been a durable guy for them. But there's a bunch of other guys, too. There's a guy from the Rams that, I think that might be worth looking into. There's a few others that haven't signed. The first wave is done, but I would think there's another safety coming and probably one in the draft also, because if the position is as important as it has been portrayed by the new defensive coordinator, then you better have a fair number of guys that you really like and can trust, because Xavier McKinney is a very good player, but he's not Superman, and we don't know that he can play all 17 games. We know that a guy like Adrian Amos, who was the last free agent, big ticket, if you will, 4-year contract safety that they signed back in 2019, guy never missed a game, not one, during his time in Green Bay. He maybe didn't make as many plays as you'd like, but he was extremely durable. But I think most safeties, because of what they're asked to do, because of the physicality of that position, and especially with Hafley talking about how important tackling is from that position, I think there's some danger there, so you better have some pretty good depth.
Jason, you mentioned it in your answer, and when you look at the age distribution of this team, it is really eye-popping. Why do you think Goody likes youth so much?
That's a great question. I don't have an answer because I don't know like Ted Thompson obviously preferred young players too, obviously. But what his philosophy, and I'm going to say this, and I don't think I'm speaking out of school when I say this, because I think Goody at least implied it, maybe flat out said it. Watching what the offense did with all those young guys last year, I think that he thinks that solidifies the idea that this is a young man's game, and now he's going to try and do it on the defensive side of the ball.
And I'm concerned.
Well, and you don't sound all that excited about that.
Because
Kyle.
can you win? Because we looked at the average age of a Super Bowl winner, and usually it was 26,
Yeah,
27.
it's like 27, 28, something like that, which makes sense.
But that's a mixture of veteran leadership, and your defense hasn't really shown that they have the pieces that they need. Like I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice by not trying to get some seasoned vet who's over the age of 28.
Yeah, they've got one, Preston Smith.
One.
Yeah, he's the only one.
Wild.
He's the only 30-year-old in the team, right?
He is. He's the only one who's celebrated his 30th birthday. It's incredible. And I understand your concern. I agree with it. Again, I feel like, and my point I was going to make is that Ted Thompson believed in having a mixture of those players. Now, he also believed in, if you could avoid it, not having your rookies play right away. That didn't just apply to Aaron Rodgers. That applied to most of his draft classes. His idea was you draft the best player available no matter what the position, because sooner or later you're going to have a need at that position anyway. And then if you have injuries, as you inevitably will, that's when young players play. He would always talk about how the veterans are going to be the ones who decide. He would say it after, I swear to God, every draft. Because someone always asks after every draft, how realistic is it that these guys could contribute right away? And then Ted's answer invariably would be, our success is going to be determined by our veterans. These guys might be forced into action, but we want them to learn the game and work their way up and everything else and play on special teams. And so the difference with Ted was, his thing was, I'm not going to sign these middling free agents to one-year prove-it deals to fill holes. If I don't have someone there, I'm going to draft them. And those guys might play right away. But otherwise, I want my established, in their prime, maybe some past their prime vets, to be the guys that start. And then when something happens, that's when these young guys get their experience. And Goody appears to be taking the approach of, let's just burn the whole thing down and start over with a bunch of young guys on the offense, which is what he did. I mean, the tight ends, the wide receivers, their offensive line is now really young, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, John Runyon started a hell of a lot of games for him. He was not that old. He was at Michigan 5 years, but now I think the oldest on their offensive line would be Elton Jenkins at 28, and then I think it's Josh Myers at 25, and everybody else is either 24 or 23.
Wow.
So that is what and I do believe that Goody is looking and saying, hey, it worked on the offense. Let's do it on defense, too.
Now, Jason, talking about winning the offseason, somebody that thinks the biggest winner of the offseason is Jordan Love, and that's Emmanuel Acho.
I think the biggest winner of NFL free agency today, Jordan Love. I'm not going to talk about an organization. I'll talk about a person. Jordan Love last year, we saw him grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Remember, the Packers weren't even convinced in Jordan Love last year, so they've signed him to that hybrid long-term, hybrid short-term. We'll give you a 2-year deal because we don't necessarily want to pick up your option. And he took them to the playoffs, won a playoff game, went to Dallas and dismantled the Dallas Cowboys at home, where the Cowboys, I believe Dave Hellman had won maybe 16 or so consecutive games.
Thanks for bringing that up.
That's what Jordan Love did. Yeah. But now imagine Jordan Love having Josh Jacobs in the backfield. Now, Aaron Jones is a dude.
He is a dude.
But Josh Jacobs, in my mind, can play the part of A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones without having to be subbed out. He has the punch and power of A.J. Dillon, and he has the speed of Aaron Jones. And then defensively, you add Xavier McKinney, who always made some foolish decisions off the field. On the field, Xavier McKinney at safety is an absolute beast, an absolute animal. I love what the Packers have done, most specifically for Jordan Love.
Do you believe Jordan Love had the best offseason of any player in the NFL, Jason Wilde?
No, I mean, I think Kirk Cousins getting whatever he got, like $90 million guaranteed. He had a pretty good offseason. He's had a pretty good free agency period. I got to do more research because I obviously read into and read a few stories about McKinney as a player. in preparation for when we get to talk to him. But what is Acho referring to about bad decisions off the field? That I had not heard that, so I must be derelict in my duty on that. I'll have to do some more reading. But look, the Packers helped themselves and thereby helped Jordan Love. But Tausch and I spent a lot of time talking today about this idea that we're all kind of just assuming that he's just going to keep getting better and better, and there's not really going to be many hiccups now, and he's established himself. And my argument, first of all, I believe that to be the case. I want to be clear on that. I believe he is going to continue to be a good to very good to excellent to great, I don't know about Hall of Fame quarterback. But he's got to prove it still. Like, yeah, great. Awesome 9-game run, and good job for much of, but not all of, the San Francisco playoff game. But just like Aaron Rodgers, who had a pretty darn good year in 2008, and even though they finished 6-10, he had to come out in 2009 and prove that was no accident. And he did. And I think Jordan Love will do the same thing this year. But he still, I feel like we're just getting ahead of ourselves on what we believe about this team. I think we want it to be the case, and I think it probably will be the case. But winning in the NFL is hard, and you can have a bunch of good players, and 3 plays in a game go against you, and you lose games that you should have won. And I think we have to. I'm not saying don't be excited about Jordan Love. You should absolutely, positively be excited about Jordan Love. But he does have more to prove. He has not. He has not arrived. The train is starting to slow down as it arrives in downtown Milwaukee, the Hiawatha. But it has not. You're not getting off the train yet. Walking by a big smiling billboard with David Gruber on it in the lobby.
Jason, I think what Emmanuel Acco was talking about was Xavier McKinney got in an ATV accident maybe a couple off seasons ago in Mexico. I don't think it was anything like alcohol involved, but I think that's what he was referring to if you're just going to like nudge your research in the right direction. But last question before I let you go. Did we hear right?
Kind of troublemaker that you are, it sounds like.
Yeah. You got to keep your eye on him. You got to keep your eye on him. But my last question for you before we let you go. Did we hear right on Wilde and Tausch today that you drive 3 hours to get your hair cut?
Oh, wow! No. I mean, first of all, I drive to Madison, which is not 3 hours away. Secondly, I did not get my hair cut all Packers season because between the girls' activities and work, I did not have time to get to Madison. And so I have not gotten my hair cut since August. And it looks terrible. And especially when it's thinning on top, and then I'm like a bad 70s guy right now with like the long kind of mullet hair in the back, but starting to lose it up top. So it's really I've been wearing hats more than ever before. But yeah, I am. Look, this is my personal belief. I believe loyalty is the most important quality in a person because all the other stuff comes with being loyal, right? Being helpful and kind and supportive and loving and all those things. You're going to be all those things if you're loyal to the people that you care about. And so my stylist, Lacey, who I've been going to for 20 years since she was 19 years old, she's awesome. She's got a great husband, Andy, who's a huge fan of the station, by the way, and their 2 awesome daughters. Usually we try and make a couple of trips a year, all 4 of us, to go get our haircuts or with the girls with coloring or whatever else they do. I don't know. That's not my area of expertise. And then we spend time with their family. And it didn't happen because of the girls' activities. So I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to go do the show in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. But, yeah, I don't get my hair cut anywhere else. If I'm going to spend money, just like as I've said before, I have a friend who owns Rustique Pizzeria up here. And if I'm going to spend money going out to dinner, I want that money to go into his pocket, not somebody else that I don't know. So you can make fun of me all you want. I got broad shoulders. I can take it. And hopefully maybe I'll see you guys one of these days in person down in Milwaukee too. But yes, I'm driving to Madison tomorrow. My haircut's at 8 a.m. So I'm going to leave Green Bay a little bit after 5. just to make sure I get there on time and get through the belt line. But, yep, that's what I'm doing.
Well, Jason, if you ever need any hair, I can cut some locks for you.
I know you've got hair to spare, my brother.
Yes, sir, brother. That is my brother,
Thanks,
Jason Wilde. Thank you so much for joining us. You can hear Jason Wilde weekdays from 9 a.m. to noon on ESPN Wisconsin on Wilde and Tausch. Thanks again, Jason.
You got it, guys. Take care. Be good.
Again, that was Jason Wilde. We're going to have some fun with this, right? Because Jason, though he said he's only driving to Madison, he did say he was leaving at what time?
Just after 5.
To get to somewhere for what time his appointment?
8 o'clock.
That is a 3-hour, basically. That is 3 hours. That is loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. I want to know what you have loyalty to where you would drive 3 hours or wake up 3 hours beforehand to get to it, to do something. We want to hear from you. 800-990-3776. That's the ESPN Wisconsin Talking Text line. We'll have more of that fun on the other side.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
Can you try it again?
Worcestershire? It's getting Worcestershire every time I say it.
Shire.
Worcestershire. How you try and say
Why
it?
would they name something so complicated?
Exactly. You try and say it. It's WORCESTER Shire. Worcestershire.
All right, as we're looking that up, 2 more questions.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, no.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
It feels like it should end at Worcestershire.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We do have an accident on 41 northbound at Appleton Avenue. Right lane is blocked right now with this, and that's slowing things down all the way back to Capitol Drive. Southbound side slowing down from before Good Hope Road all the way down to about Hampton. And a new accident that just popped up, and unfortunately, it's going to be affecting your ride. Southbound 43, right about at Walnut Street. We've got at least the right lane, possibly the 2 right lanes blocked right now, right at Walnut Street as you're making your way towards Fond du Lac. It's really starting to slow things down, so give yourself tons of extra time. Traffic is brought to you by the 3rd Street Market Hall, your one-stop destination for basketball this March. Catch the entire tournament with the best local food and drink for the ultimate viewing experience. Only at 3rd Street Market Hall. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 35. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds early, then mostly sunny, a high of 48. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here. Don't let the chilly weather end your golf season. X-Golf and American Family Field is open all year round. They've got innovative and accurate golf simulators, all overlooking left field at AmFam Field. Enjoy daily lunch specials or have an outing with your friends and take in X-Golf's full bar and food menus. X-Golf AmFam Field is even offering golf lessons by a PGA Pro. Everyone is welcome at X-Golf AmFam. Book your sim today, xgolfamfamfield.com. I'll see you out there.
We've told you about Moses Hadara,
the diamond cutter who created the Kessler 81, the magical diamond that vibrates with light.
Kessler's works with crazy diamond cutters,
geniuses who create wonderful, spectacular, crazy diamond shapes.
The one thing these crazy genius diamonds all have in common
is that they explode with light. The Kessler Emerald Cut diamond sends out rippling waves of light, like water lapping onto a beach.
The Kessler Square Radiant Diamond glows like the sun on the horizon.
Sometimes sunrise, sometimes sunset.
Come to Kessler's.
Come to Kessler's. Come to Kessler's.
Ask to see the rippling waves of light, like water on the beach.
Ask to see the glow that looks like sunrise and sunset. Ask to see the Kessler Crazy Genius Diamonds.
See them for yourself.
See them for yourself. See them for yourself.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is the time of year to enjoy your life. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. It is a fact. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your body's own ability to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you, so you can walk and run, climb stairs, play golf, move again, pain-free. No pain pills, no risky surgery. This is an all-natural solution. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have reclaimed their mobility. Take action now. Live your best life this spring and summer. And it's a great use of your tax refund check. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It's just a little 10-piece for it, just to blow it in the mall. Doesn't mean that we involved. I just put a Richard on the card. I ain't go playing ball, but I'll show you how to gotta do it.
The madness is back, and so is your chance at proving your hoops knowledge. It's the ESPN Wisconsin Bracket Challenge presented by Cousin Subs. Ooh, I love me some Cousin Subs. Fill out a bracket, earn the most points at the end of the tourney, and get a $1,000 gift card to Cousin Subs. Yes, you heard that right. $1,000 gift card to Cousin Subs. Start getting your scouting reports done now before the bracket is set, and get ready to fill out on the ESPN Tournament Challenge app or ESPN.com. It's the ESPN Wisconsin Bracket Challenge presented by Cousin Subs. They believe in better. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for full rules and details on this. Ooh, that's going to be exciting. I love me some Cousin Subs, Brad.
Oh, yeah. It's delicious. Love it.
Yes. Now, would you drive 3 hours for Cousin Subs, though?
Oh, gosh. I would hope that there's one closer to me as much as I love Cousin Subs. But I'm going to be honest, right? I mean, man, Jason going 3 hours to a barber, and then he said he talked about loyalty. That is loyalty embodied. I tried to think of things that I would drive 3 hours for. I'm not going to lie. I can't come up with much. It would have to be like a great deal, like a car that is like, oh my gosh, that's a screaming deal. I can't find that anywhere. I would go very far for that, actually. Or like furniture where it's like being sold on sale. I'd figure it out with the U-Haul or something. Maybe, just maybe, if it was a very special occasion and it was a restaurant that was like an hour and a half, 2 hours away, maybe I would do that. But it would have to be something that I love. Oh, and one other thing would be like... What is that? What? The kind of restaurant?
No, I was saying, what's the one other thing?
Would be like if I had like Packer season tickets, right? Whereas I'm not like regularly going on Sundays that way. Where that is something I cannot get in Milwaukee. If I want Packers live, I would have to go to Green Bay. But that's the thing. It would have to not be in my local sphere for me to go do it. And a barber, that's plenty of those in my local sphere.
Jason Wilde. This all stems from Jason Wilde driving from Green Bay to Madison to get his haircut by somebody he's been getting his haircut for many years, and he's waking up tomorrow and leaving right after 5 a.m. to make sure he makes it in time for his 8 a.m. appointment. And then I wonder if he's going to do the show from Madison or he's going back. Who knows? But
he's do the show there.
That is a lot of work to do for a haircut. There's not a lot of things I would drive for consistently like that. Like I've been going to my barber since I was 8 years old. Same guy.
Oh, wow.
So I got loyalty. I'm with Jason on loyalty, but if my barber decided he wanted to move to Kenosha, I'm not driving to Kenosha to go to my barber.
Even to Kenosha?
Nah, man, that's too much.
45 minutes?
Man, listen, that's too much. That's too far. It's 40. I used to work at UW Parkside. That's 50 minutes. So that's a whole, basically 2 hours round trip.
So you wouldn't even go 1 hour?
I will find me a new barber. I love Mo Cuss. Shout out to Mo Cuss Barber. But I would find me a new barber. But you're right. I would drive for like more instances, like going for events. You know, my cousin used to play for the Badgers, so every Saturday we definitely went up there. Also drove 8 hours to go pick up my boat. When I bought my boat, drove to North Dakota and back, 16 hours round trip. Cool. I do that. Yeah, shout out to me and my boat. Can't wait till the summertime. But then also, you know what else I would drive for consistently?
What's that?
A woman. I would do that.
Yeah.
Because I would do that for a woman now.
Hey. Yeah, man. Women will get you to do those kind of things.
Women will have you do crazy things.
I got one more that I would add. Because actually living in Jacksonville, there was always big concerts in Orlando. So I would drive 2.5 hours to Orlando for concerts. That is also what I would do if they weren't coming to Jacksonville. So I would, for a big concert, a big game, something like that I would do. But man, a haircut? Nah.
Ooh, shout out to Jason Willie.
Shout out to Jason.
And shout out to his hairstylist. I'm going to say barber. Hairstylist.
She must be excellent.
She's excellent. His hair looks phenomenal whenever he gets it done. Of
course.
But next, we get to hear from you, KBN Nation. We have the Take Machine. We're going to hear some of the hottest takes that people have around KBN Nation. Keep it locked. You're listening to KBN on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
But what I've heard is very nutritious.
I was actually about to ask.
Very
This
nutritious.
is the last conversation on it. Did you taste it? Hey, come on, did you taste it?
You got to. You got to make sure that it's good and good for your baby.
Yeah.
I know Jonathan Brust has. I have not yet.
Okay.
I definitely am.
You might as well take a little shot.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall, right in downtown Milwaukee. Home to your one-stop, must-stop viewing destination, 3rd Street Market Hall has over 15 locally owned food vendors, a self-serve beer wall with 24 beers on tap, and over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. It's the perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or even over lunch. 3rd Street Market Hall is Milwaukee's downtown home to basketball this March.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and his son Chris are joined by ESPN NBA writer Jamal Collier.
People shouldn't overlook that because he has been consistently dominant every single night.
Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Bunzels.com.
Come see Thanalysis live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel on Friday, March 22nd.
Hey, welcome to another Thanalysis show. Man, we are coming on in today's podcast.
Be there for the first ever live show for Thanasis as he's joined by his brother, none other than the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I took off my shoes and I was like, go crazy, go hoop. That's all it was.
Get your tickets now at GALiveshow.com. Thanalysis live at Potawatomi Casino Hotel on March 22nd. GALiveshow.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. It's 2024 and an election year. The politicians are out there promising things they won't deliver. One thing is certain. Taxes are what pays for those promises. The IRS collects those taxes, and man, can they be brutal. My latest book has advice on what to do to avoid trouble with the IRS. We help you file back tax returns, get liens released, set up payment plans, represent you in audits, and get penalties reduced or eliminated. Some recent clients we helped include getting a $40,000 tax bill reduced by $32,000, filing a 2020 tax return to get a $7,000 refund, and negotiating a payment plan for $250 a month on a $30,000 tax bill. Make the right choice. Go to rightchoicetax.us to book a call or in-person meeting right now. We know you want to take the first step in getting the IRS off your back so you can live again. That's rightchoicetax.us.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results Mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to Mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, it's I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, it's I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at LowTUSA.com.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Welcome back into KBN here on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Kyle Walls. He's Brad Nortman. Make sure you watch us live. Go to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Yes, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and watch and stream us live. Tap in on the KBN chat as we'll have all these fun conversations going on in the KBN chat. But now, Brad, guess what we got coming up next?
Oh, it's one of my favorite segments of the week.
Yes, it is. It is time for the Take Machine.
We've all got them. Sometimes they leave you with a good feeling.
You're incredible.
But most of the time they end up leaving you unsatisfied.
Do you have anything bigger?
This is the Take Machine on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
It is time for the Take Machine here on ESPN Wisconsin on KBN. And Chris, what is the first take that we have?
Yeah, the NBA is absolutely cooked. The high screen, 5-man automatic switching, repetitive three-point chucking is not an enjoyable product for the fan to watch.
Interesting.
Brad?
Oh, wow.
Well, look, I do think that the game has evolved outward, right, where people are doing the high screen and roll. You're doing three-point shots. I think three-point shots are pretty fun, though, to watch. I think when someone gets hot from the outside and you're shooting long balls, I think that's pretty enjoyable. Because if you remember, like, we romanticize the 80s and the 90s. Look, that was a lot of mid-range. That was a lot of post-game. Like, there's nothing that fun about mid-range and post-game. The fact that they're jacking up threes and all that, I mean, I think it's enjoyable to watch. There's no doubt, though, that it's a bit of a slower pace during the regular season sometimes. I think when it comes to the playoffs, though, you get the high screen and roll, you get physical, you get everything. So I think the best is the playoffs. That's coming up in a month.
Yeah, but of course Brad likes the sexiness and the scoring.
Sure
That's what he likes.
do.
He said he likes bringing sexy back, and I have no issue with it myself either. I like high-scoring games. I like excitement. I like up and down. I don't mind the switching. Some people are purists, and I'm a purist in a lot of things, but when it comes to this, I like to see the game evolve, and look how the game has evolved. Shout out to Steph Curry.
And I will say one quick thing, too. It still is best when there's ball movement, when there's movement, and there's cutting, and they're all this. Usually, they can get lazy with the offense, but when the ball is moving, when there's cutting, when there's movement in the offense, it's still optimized. So they just don't do it as much as they maybe should.
Chris, what's the next thing you got?
The United States wants to ban TikTok only so they can control TikTok. I do understand that the Chinese government does take control over TikTok, so there could be some social engineering, some social programming happening with China overseeing it. But overall, I feel like if the United States gets a hold of TikTok, it takes away from the people, all right? And all these applications is supposed to be for the people. So power to the people. The application should go to the people, all right? That's where we go to look at the things that the government don't want to tell us. It's amazing.
What a take. Look, I disagree. I think TikTok, there's almost nothing good about TikTok. I know I'm sounding like an old guy yelling at clouds right now, but look, I think TikTok is a really dark place. I think that the algorithms are really messed up. I think there's more false information on TikTok than there is almost anywhere else. And I don't want any of that information going to China. We have no idea what they're doing with it. Look, the U.S. government gives us tons of freedom with all these social media apps, and I mean a ton. TikTok, though, I can't find one good thing about it. Not one.
I am not a TikToker, and actually, I listen to people when they said TikTok gets all your information. I don't have a TikTok. I literally made a TikTok for work one time to make a video to entertain students because they like the little TikToks thing, and after that, I deleted it. I have no interest in being on TikTok. I do not like TikTok whatsoever, but if you, as a human being, as a parent, as an adult, want to give all your information to China, go ahead and do it. If you want China to have facial recognition on you, that's fine. If you want China to know all your passwords, that's on you. That is absolutely on you. And so Shout out to China for having like the greatest scheme to get us addicted to TikTok and being able to take. Listen, you have a whole generation of kids and people who will be they will be on the Capitol Hill next week. You're gonna see Gen Z, millennials, and Gen Alpha up on Capitol Hill saying, "Bring back TikTok! Bring back TikTok!"
That'd be such a sad state of affairs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind this take. I mean, that's free to mind, free to people. Let China have all the information. No, I'm to be serious though. I hate it.
Now, hold on. I'm going to stop that take right. I have a take.
What is your take?
I don't mean to cut off all the takes that we receive, but I heard that take. I got a take, okay? So I'm wearing this camo shirt. For anyone that can't see on our YouTube stream right now, I'm wearing a shirt, Hook Performance Fishing, but it's camo. It's a green camo shirt, right?
Oh, that's a Hook. I see it now.
It's my boy Drew Hermo, right? Your friend.
Okay.
So anyway.
Oh, wow.
So I've got a take about wearing camo, about wearing hunting things in general. Look, I'm not a hunter. I'm not really a competitive fisherman. I don't really do much of that, but I love wearing all this outdoor stuff. So to me, if I'm wearing green camo and I'm just a normal civilian walking around, I think it's super cool. I think there are people out there that say it's lame or walk around and say, "Oh, I can only see your head and your legs. I can't see your torso because you're camouflage." That's just a bad dad joke. I think wearing camo, green camo, is super cool. I think it's stylish and awesome. That's my take.
You look like a poser. You seem like an imposter. You're an imposter.
Oh,
that's what you do.
wow.
You are sitting there wearing camo as if you listen, Brad. I don't hunt. I'm not. It's no shot at you. I don't fish. It's no shot at you. But I don't know. I know you don't hunt. I don't. I know you said you like to be an outdoors man, but you don't get to do it too often.
I like the idea of it.
Yeah, the idea, but not the actual action. You are right now. You are perpetrating as if camo is you. You are not a camo guy, Brad. You're not. You're perpetrating. You're an imposter, and you should not be wearing that. It doesn't look good on you.
Wait a minute. If
it's a free clothes. Stop wearing free clothes.
That's true. That's all I clearly wear. But what about all the people wearing like Nike out there that aren't athletes? Like that's the same thing.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's what we're going to do.
I'm looking at you,
Wait
Kyle
a minute.
Wallace.
So what you're saying? No. That's what you're not going to do.
Sports apparel.
Oh, wow.
If you're not an athlete, you can still wear it. I'm not a hunter. I can wear camo.
Oh, no.
I think it looks sweet on me.
Most people who wear Nike or athletic gear do some type of athletic performance. People who wear camo, they wear it for a reason.
Sure about that?
Camo. I am not 100% sure. I am not. That I am uncertain of. But what I am certain of is camouflage was meant for some type of activity. Whether you're at war, whether you're hunting, or whether you're doing something to camouflage and blend in with something. Right now, I guess maybe you're trying to blend in with the wall behind you.
Like this?
Maybe that's what you're trying to do is blend in. Brad is over here trying to blend in on our ESPN Wisconsin side. I mean, it's a nice looking shirt, but yeah, I'm not with it.
All right. Well, I'm hanging tight on my take, though.
You can do that, and you should stand on it, Brad. Definitely stand on it. We got one more hour here of KBN here on ESPN Wisconsin. Keep it locked. Again, 800-990-3776. That's the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. We want to continue to hear from you. And we talked about Josh Jacobs a little bit earlier, and we talked about Xavier McKinney. But we want to talk about what are your expectations of Josh Jacobs? For this to be a good move, what does Josh Jacobs need to do next year? We want to hear from you, KBN Nation. So keep it locked. You're listening to KBN on ESPN Wisconsin.
An accident right now on 894 southbound. South of Beloit Road has the right lane blocked. That's going to be backing things up quite a bit through that area, so give yourself tons of extra time. Got an accident on southbound 43 right about at Walnut. It was in the right lane. Looks like they were able to move everything off to the right, but we've also got issues at Locust, southbound 43. Right lane is blocked with a crash there. Definitely seeing the backups all the way back to Hampton Avenue. And some possible flooding on northbound 43 north of Silver Spring. That's going to be causing some issues. So through those construction zones, still going to be a little bit dicey. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 35. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds early, then mostly sunny with a high of 48. Weather is brought to you by Showtime Floors, installing beautiful floor shield. Transform your garage or basement floors into a showpiece. Mention ESPN for 10% off. ShowtimeFloors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls for Universal Windows Direct. I've been telling you that windows from Universal perform better and last longer. Call today at 414-410-2000 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. Plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Restrictions do apply. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your next project. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to universalwindowsdirect.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
It all starts next week. We're talking about the Guinness Basketball Hour. This is your chance to enjoy a free pint of Guinness at select locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin. Enjoy the basketball games and a Guinness all month at Harp, who's on 3rd Street Tavern, Deer Camp, Oak Barrel, Mulligan's, and Moe's Downtown. Tune in next week and follow ESPN Milwaukee on social for the exact dates, times, and locations of the Guinness Basketball Hour. Receive a free pint of Guinness throughout the tournament with the Guinness Basketball Hour.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN. On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It's the 414 Hour at 4 on KBN.
I don't know what Ben says after that. I'm like coming off my high.
You're the one that's usually doing that.
I am, so I don't know what he says.
How about a grade? How about a grade on that?
That was good.
That was pretty good.
Here's the thing. You are so excited because usually what we'll do is, and this is a little bit of off air, make sure that you watch us on YouTube, stream us live on ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. I'll go in Brad's ear and I'll say, hey, you want to do this? He'll say yes, and immediately he gets up and he does it. Just like that. Usually I take my time, build up a little bit of swag. Brad says, oh, yeah, here I come.
I leap at the opportunity to say 414 Hour at 4. I am so honored to do it. You are Mr. 414, so you are the man to do it when it's a full cast and crew here. I gladly say, Kyle Wallace, you are that man. But when it's just the two of us, ooh, baby, do I love saying it.
No, I like when you say it. It gives me a little break from saying it, but I love how you bring the energy. You do it for the KBN Nation, and that's what I love about you, Brad.
I'm all about KBN Nation.
Now, Brad, we're all about KBN Nation, and you're all about Josh Jacobs. I like Josh Jacobs as well. I don't want it to get misconstrued. I like Josh Jacobs. I think he will be good. But he needs to have certain expectations going into this season. And this is what we want to ask you, KBN Nation. 800-990-3776. In order for this to be a good move, and when I say a good move, releasing Aaron Jones and not paying him at least $7 million and signing Josh Jacobs to a 4-year, $48 million contract. Does he need to be a top 5 running back in the NFL? 800-990-3776. That is the question we have for you. Make sure you visit us on Twitter X and you vote on our poll there. But Bill in Waukesha, you have thoughts on Josh Jacobs and what he needs to do in order for it to be a success. You are on KBN.
Well, thanks for taking my call. 4 years, $48 million, I think, is a lot of money, but I don't think the Packers have as good a offensive line as the Raiders do. Hopefully they'll get somebody. They definitely have to get somebody in the draft. But what happened to A.J. Dillon?
A.J. Dillon is going to be gone. Are you satisfied with A.J. Dillon, Bill? Were you happy with him last year?
Well, if A.J. Dillon signed up with Denver or a Jacksonville team and was a utility back, he'll do just fine. But he's not but why did they let him go? I'm kind of surprised by that. Yeah, but I think Josh Jacobs is great. I'm surprised they signed him. I think A.J. Dillon around the end I always liked how he moved around that end, and when they let him go around the end, he always seemed to find almost petered. But okay, thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it.
I think Bill likes seeing them big old Thunder Godzilla thighs.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know
a pounder.
He was a pounder. He was a tripper too.
Yeah, first of all, when it comes to the offensive line, actually, the Packers' offensive line, it's easily a top 10 offensive line in the league. By the end of the season, man, they were blocking as a top 5 unit. But between protecting Jordan Love, remember those scary defensive linemen between Aiden Hutchinson and the Bosas and Chase Young in those playoff games? Jordan Love, he had a clean uniform all game, man. He was comfortable in that pocket. That's too soon for Aaron. I was wiping my chest, showing that Jordan Love was a clean pocket. It was too close to Aaron.
And I just had to do a wipe me down first down.
Yeah, so I think this Packer offensive line is fully equipped to protect Jordan Love and establish a sound running game. We saw that with Aaron Jones, right? Aaron Jones had the slashing and, most importantly, the vision to hit those holes that the offensive line was creating. One of the reasons Josh Jacobs struggled so much last season was because of the Raiders' offensive line, and their offensive scheme was a hot mess. Let's be honest, it was a hot mess. So I think that's why I think Josh Jacobs will do better in this system. And A.J. Dillon, look, I like A.J. Dillon. He seems like a solid guy. He's not right for this offense, right? He wasn't great at visually hitting the hole, reading the offensive lineman, keeping his feet. He kind of got better as the year went on. But to now be a fifth-year running back, you need more efficiency. You need more effectiveness. You're going to find more of that in the draft than you will with A.J. Dillon.
He wasn't a good one-cut guy.
No.
He's a downhill, keep your feet if you can type running back.
And quite honestly, with Josh Jacobs, you have more physicality with him. Your changeup is going to be more speed now.
Yes.
So A.J. Dillon for sure doesn't fit this anymore.
Speed, vision. He was a first-round pick. And running back has first-round picks don't happen, but he's a first-round pick for a reason. But getting back to that, the main question, and we want to hear from you, okay? 800-990-3776. That's the ESPN Wisconsin talking text line. Also, watch and stream us live on ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get into the chat because we want to hear from you. What do you need to see from Josh Jacobs this year in order for you to believe that this was a good signing, that it was good to move on from Aaron Jones, who has been a very consistent back for the Green Bay Packers, and Jason Wilde talked about it in the last 5 years. He's only missed 10 games, I believe it was, and 6 were because of injury, or 6 were this year, and 1 was because of the fact that he got arrested. So that narrative, throw it out the window. So I want to know from you, Brad, because you're on the Josh Jacobs train, and we're both on the train. We both like him, but you are okay with this move of moving on from Aaron Jones. What is it that Josh Jacobs needs to do in 2024 for you to say, Goody, great decision, smart move by getting rid of Aaron Jones and bringing in a younger Josh Jacobs?
Josh Jacobs needs to be a top 5 running back. I mean, he is getting paid right now on an annual basis the 6th most of all NFL running backs. So, translation, you got to be 5 or better to actually outplay or find value in that contract. And we had on over-under today, Chris Larson gave us the top rushing yards from all the rest of the running backs, top 10 last season. And I think starting at like 5 or 6, it was like 1,100 yards. So he's going to have to give us 1,100 yards. I mean, I know Aaron Jones only scored 2 touchdowns in the regular season last year. It's got to be more like 8, maybe 9, something like that. And to be a productive, reliable back. So Josh Jacobs, look, it's a big deal to be a top 5 running back in the NFL, but that's what he's got to be. That's what his contract is also dictating that he needs to be. But here's what I like about how Goody structured it, okay? You hear 4 years, $48 million, $12 million a year. You go, woof, that's a big number right there. That's a lot of money for a running back. If you look at the fine print, really the only guaranteed money was the signing bonus. Translation, the Packers can, if they really want to, they can get out after 1 year, and they can really get out after 2 years. This is kind of a pay as you go to Josh Jacobs. They're basically saying, Josh Jacobs, here you go. We're paying you as a top 5 running back, but it's a year-to-year venture. Go out there and play up to your contract or else. I think that Goody learned his lesson from the David Bakhtiari dead cap situation and a bunch of cap tied up. So he has structured this contract to be very flexible, that if Josh Jacobs isn't a top 5 running back, they can move on in due time. But Josh Jacobs, and it's a big deal to have that kind of production. That's what his contract is dictating him to be.
And so, Brad, you make a lot of great points, and I'm glad that you actually have standards, right? You're not just going to sit there and say, oh, we signed him and, make excuses. No.
Certainly
you have expectations, and that's what I want Packers Nation to have. That's what I want KBN Nation to have as well. I want us to make sure that we have expectations for Josh Jacobs in order for this to be a big move. I don't think this is Yay, we moved on from Aaron. We knew what we were getting from Aaron Jones. We understand that Aaron Jones last season had a little down year, but what you can do, you can count him. He was a reliable running back. And I looked up some stats about Aaron Jones, and shout out to Sports Illustrated for having this. When you look at the 2023 NFL season, when you compare the two, missed tackle percentage, Aaron Jones had a 15.5% of missed tackles versus 12% to Josh Jacobs. He was ahead of him. Guess what? Yards after contact per carry. Jones was 11th in the league, and Jacobs was 46th in the league as well. When we look at percentage of runs that gained a first down, Jones, 16th in the league with 23% of his runs getting a first down, where Josh Jacobs was 48th with 14.6. So we want to say how great this move was. I think it was a nice little switch, but I think we should remember how great that Aaron Jones was for us, not just in the playoffs, but consistently throughout his career. 800-990-3776. What do you need to see from Josh Jacobs in order for you to say this was a good move to move on from Aaron Jones? Dan in Sheboygan, what do you need to see?
I need to see Jacobs stay on the field every down, because Aaron Jones was able to play other positions. He was able to play in the slot and catch passes. And he made everybody else better because he was a matchup problem. Jacobs is a mauler. He might be a better pure running back, but Aaron Jones, I think, makes a lot of other people better because you have to change the way you defend him, because he can get out wide. He can run the jet sweep. He can do certain things. He's more explosive than Josh Jacobs. I mean, how many runs over 50 yards do they have over their career? Jacobs or Jones? It's got to be Jones.
I do not know.
Don't have that stat, but we do know over the course of one another's career, Aaron Jones has a wildly cited stat that he has 5 yards per carry for Aaron Jones. That's like top 5 all time. That's like Walter Payton and Jim Brown type numbers. The problem is he just carries it less. He has less attempts. And honestly, Josh Jacobs at 4.2 is pretty good. Josh Jacobs generally has more consistent production throughout his career, with the yards and touchdowns. Aaron Jones's is a bit more variable, but that just goes to show how the Packers used Aaron Jones. Because Jason said it, right? There were times when he played and he was healthy, but he kind of vanishes from the game. He gets 10 touches, and that was maybe more game plan, but it leads me to believe, Mike McCarthy and Matt LaFleur, they're not dumb offensive play callers, so there must have been something behind why they're not getting Aaron Jones the ball as much. I think they're going to force feed Josh Jacobs.
I used to get so frustrated with Mike McCarthy with him not giving the ball to Aaron Jones. The talent was clearly there. I was so happy when they fired him because I said, finally, we'll get a coach that gives Aaron Jones the ball. I want to continue talking about this on the other side because I want to share exactly what I need to see from Josh Jacobs next year, and I also want to continue to share exactly what you all want to see from there. But before we go, Brad, can you tell us about your friends at Bank 5-9?
Oh, I would love to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. They are the best. I know them personally. I mean, everybody there, I know them personally. So I can personally say to you, they are the best when it comes to a community bank, because listen to their mantra right here. Make lives better. What bank do you know that is their mission statement? So not only do they provide the top financial support that their clients and customers expect and enjoy, but they go out in the community in their 14 branch locations. Their employees spend over 9,000 hours a year volunteering in the communities, and they give countless giveaways of sponsorships and volunteerism and giving opportunities. I mean, everywhere I see Bank 5-9 signs in things that they support, both big and small. That gives me peace of mind to know that our financial institutions here through Bank 5-9 are not only helping you, they're helping the community. They put the community in community bank. They make lives better. So if you're looking for a true local community bank, you need to check out my friends at Bank 5-9 at bank59.com, member FDIC.
Does Josh Jacobs need to be a top 5 running back in the NFL next season for his contract, 4 years, $48 million with the Packers, to be worth it? That is the poll that we have on KBN at ESPN. That's KBN at ESPN on Twitter, X. We want you to go and vote on that. Brad, myself, and you will talk about that more next. Keep it locked. You're listening to KBN on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
I was like, it's the 414 hour at 4.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the kid who like got picked on the sports team. I was like, "Oh, you want me? No way!" Because all last week, it was so much fun to do that, and I was like, "Well, I guess it's back to Kyle doing it now." When you said, "Want to do it with me?" I was like, "Oh yeah, let's do it."
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
An accident right now on 894 southbound. South of Beloit Road has the right lane blocked. That's going to be backing things up quite a bit through that area, so give yourself tons of extra time. Got an accident on southbound 43 right about at Walnut. It was in the right lane. Looks like they were able to move everything off to the right, but we've also got issues at Locust. Southbound 43. Right lane is blocked with a crash there. Definitely seeing the backups all the way back to Hampton Avenue. And some possible flooding on northbound 43 north of Silver Spring. That's going to be causing some issues. So through those construction zones, still going to be a little bit dicey. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mostly cloudy, a low of 35. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds early, then mostly sunny with a high of 48. Weather is brought to you by Showtime Floors, installing beautiful floor shield. Transform your garage or basement floors into a showpiece. Mention ESPN for 10% off. ShowtimeFloors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Football guy.
What the hell happened to Bucky on your hat?
Football guy.
A lot of wear and tear for old B.
Coming at it from different views.
I'm just saying he's well worn. I mean, his face is missing. Okay, well, it's probably time for me to freshen that up. Bucky wants to flip you off right now.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my favorite go-to drink. That's Carbless. Carbless is a ready-to-drink, handcrafted vodka and tequila cocktail. Even better, it's 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. And listen to this, less carbonation. This leads to less bloat. I can indulge in something delicious without having that health guilt. Carbless is crafted right here in Wisconsin. It has a flavor for everyone, from black raspberry to cranberry, pineapple and lemon, and my favorite, margarita. Find Carbless online and at a retailer near you. Less is more.
Don't put your life on hold to earn a degree. Lakeland University has a long history of making students' dreams come true. Since 1862, build a schedule that meets your needs with options for 7 and 12-week courses, evening classes, and the ability to join classes remotely. Lakeland University is Wisconsin's leader in evening and online education. They have a main campus in Sheboygan County and 6 centers throughout the whole state. Lakeland University. Affordable, quality, flexible. Find out your next steps at info.lakeland.edu.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here, and there is one thing I think everyone can agree on. Potholes stink. And this year's weather will make it one of the worst years yet. Well, Johnson & Sons Paving is ready to take on the challenge with a team that has over 2 decades of experience. When the potholes pop up in your asphalt, Johnson & Sons Paving can patch or replace the whole area. Book an appointment now at johnsonsonspaving.com. Get that appointment booked before May 31st, and you might even see Old T on the job site for a visit. Find full contest details at ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer. Get started on your fitness journey by going to PrincetonClubNewBerlin.com. That's PrincetonClubNewBerlin.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. The hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Book special hotel packages with room rates starting as low as $129 a night. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
ESPN Wisconsin. No Ben Brust today. So you're stuck with Bradley Nortman, the 6-time, 6-year NFL punter. And then you're stuck with me, Kyle Wallace, just a regular dude with dreads that loves talking about the Packers. And also with you here, KBN Nation, 800-990-3776. That's the ESPN Wisconsin talking text line. And I want you all to join in on this conversation that we're having. And also make sure you stream and watch us live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. And we have a poll up that talks about what we're talking about now, and it is Josh Jacobs. Does Josh Jacobs need to be a top 5 running back in the NFL next season for his contract, a 4-year, $48 million contract he has, to be worth it for the Green Bay Packers? Brad says yes. I also, Brad, believe it is yes. And I believe it is yes because, listen, Aaron Jones gave us multiple seasons of over 1,100 yards that you talked about, and also a lot of solid leadership. Catching the ball out the backfield, Aaron Jones was very talented with that. I mean, the least amount of catches he had since he actually became the real starter in 2019 is 30 catches, which was last year, but he had 47, 49, 52, 59. I mean, he was a dual threat running back for the Green Bay Packers. So we need to find somebody that can do that, but also do more. So what I need, my parameters of what I need to see from Josh Jacobs in order for me to feel satisfied with this signing in the cutting of Aaron Jones is I need 1,100 yards each one of these seasons. I don't 1,100 yards plus. 1,100 is the floor. So I'm talking about I want to see 1,200, 1,300. Heck, give me the 1,500 yards.
Oh, wow.
I want him to run all over people. I need him to have 10 plus touchdowns in all those seasons. And why I say this is because he is a punishing running back. When we get in short yardage situations, we get in goal line, 31, 4th and 1, I want him to make it look easy. You know when you see Derrick Henry on 4th and run or 3rd and run, and you know what the end result's going to be? Mm-hmm. That's what we need from Josh Jacobs. I want us to be able to put fear into other teams. He needs to be a weapon. He needs to be a threat. He needs to be somebody, when it comes to the fourth quarter of games, like Badger football, right? We wear teams down and all we do is pound the rock. I want the Packers to have the effect with this offense to be able to hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs late and watch the clock just tick and run downs and take the will away from other teams and win football games. If he can do that, that means the answer is yes, because all the things I just listed equate to somebody being a top 5 running back in the NFL. So yes, Josh Jacobs must be a top 5 running back for the Green Bay Packers in order for him to live up to this contract and justify the Packers cutting Aaron Jones.
So we're on the same page. He's got to be a top 5 running back. My question is, will he be? Do you expect him to be? We've set out the expectations. Do you think he will actually match those expectations?
I actually do believe. I mean, I know I'm upset right now about Aaron Jones, but I do believe based off where the Packers are going. And Jason Wilde talked about this young offensive line. You talked about this was a top 10 offensive line. We saw what Aaron Jones was able to do late. And what makes me feel good about next year with Josh Jacobs and that we won't have a big drop-off on the field in production is the fact that you have guys who are only getting better. Josh Myers played better football last year. Rasheed Walker found his way last year. You already know what you're getting out of Zach Tom. Like the offensive line altogether, Elton Jenkins started playing better. The receiving core got better. The quarterback, Jordan Love, got better. So when everybody on this team is taking a step forward and has to, shoulder a little bit more responsibility, I expect for the running game to still be there. I expect for it to be still effective, and I expect it to be better this year as well. And with that, Josh Jacobs ain't no slouch. He's a good football player, so I do expect him to do well.
Two major characteristics of the Shanahan, LaFleur, McDaniels, that entire offensive scheme. Two things that come to mind. Ready? One is motion. The second is play action. How do you establish an effective play action? It's running the football, running it effectively, and having that every time that Jordan Love sticks his hand out to whether it be he's actually giving the ball to Josh Jacobs or faking giving the ball to Josh Jacobs, safeties bite and linebackers bite. That is the most effective form of the Matt LaFleur offense. I think Matt LaFleur knows that. I think he has a trustworthy, and Aaron Jones is trustworthy. don't get it twisted, and Jason did say that about, Aaron Jones, generally speaking, was a trusted running back. But I think he knows this is a system by which Josh Jacobs can thrive, where we are going to run the ball and run the ball and run the ball, and he's going to be there, and he can take a lot of volume. But this is predicated on play action. That is the best form of this, and I think that he's going to commit to the running game so that Jordan Love can do play action and become even better of a quarterback.
Oh, I love the action we're getting on the ESPN Wisconsin Talking text line. We got calls. We have texters. I'm just loving this. Also, remember, you can vote on the poll on Twitter, X as well. But Brian in Lake Mills, what are your thoughts on this conversation? You are on KBN.
All right. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
I kind of heard a little bit of what you kind of are expecting out of, or to be a top 5 running back. The last 3 years or couple years, he led the league in creating the most amount of missed tackles. He's going to be playing with a better offensive line, a drastically better offensive line, better quarterback, better receiving core in total with Devontae Adams. So the amount of opportunities are going to be there for him that, the legs are going to be there, and I think he will be a top 5 because he's going to have the opportunities. Also want to get your guys' thoughts. I heard on another radio show this afternoon that Packers are having interest in Micah Hyde. I know it's switching conversations, but I truly think he'll be a top 5 back just because of the past output he's had, and I think it might be easy for him to be a top 5 back.
Thanks so much, Brian.
Brian, let's keep it on this radio station.
Right.
Don't be jumping around. We appreciate you being a faithful listener, but don't you be jumping around.
Keep it locked in now.
Thank you for the call. Great perspectives. Sounds like you're in lockstep with us about what Josh Jacobs brings to this table and how he can be a top 5 running back, so I love that insight. And you're exactly right. Good stat on missed tackles that he created since 2021. He's number 1 in the league. Look, I saw the report as well that there's mutual interest between Micah Hyde and the Green Bay Packers. From what I can tell, it's not substantiated by any of the main guys. So I personally am a little hesitant to buy into that storyline until one of the main either local or national guys reports on that. But gosh, if that happens, man, and you got Xavier McKinney and you got to return Micah Hyde, who couldn't be that veteran that knows the system, that knows Green Bay, that knows how to be a pro. Maybe you draft a guy a little bit later, Kyle Wallace. I mean, man, that could be a great situation. I would love to see that if that comes into fruition.
800-990-3776. That is the ESPN Wisconsin Talking text line. Again, y'all been blowing us up on this Talking text line, and I absolutely love it. We are asking you, what do you need to see from Josh Jacobs next season in order for you to feel confident in the contract that they gave him in cutting Aaron Jones loose? Bill said, I'd like to see Jacobs get 1,500 all-purpose yards, 1,200 rushing, 300 receiving, plus 10 total touchdowns. That will be a success. I like that. I don't think that's a bad take, actually.
No, that's a good take.
Because he's a threat out the backfield. I just want people to understand that he's had 50 catches in the season multiple times, 30 catches in the season multiple times as well. That is definitely something that he can do. And somebody else, Gary, said, all Josh Jacobs needs to be is himself and be available.
I mean, yeah, himself and available is a top 5 back. He's proven he can do it. He's proven he can be elite. I do think behind this offensive line and all the weapons outside, I think it's all in front of him.
And shout out to Yusuf. I think I know who this Yusuf is. Shout out to Yusuf. This is the Yusuf I know. And he took a little different angle. He didn't give numbers based off yards and touchdowns. He said over 200 carries and 4.5 yards per carry or better would make this a good deal.
That would be really good. I'm trying to do the math in my head. Mm-hmm. Is that it's 900 rushing yards at least right there?
Now I don't know. You ask me to do math. I don't do math. Now I'm a comm major. And we got a couple more here. Gary also continued on to say, Gary said, listen, Josh Jacobs' deal is basically a 1-year deal. He believes we should have kept Aaron Jones to pair with Josh Jacobs. That would have been the dream scenario as well. And then lastly, Ainsley, my favorite. Ainsley, shout out Ainsley.
Friend of the show,
Ainsley. Ainsley said 1,300 yards rushing and only misses one game. That is actually pretty good. And also, Ainsley said she's still mad at me. Ainsley, I apologize, okay? I'm sorry. You caught me in a bad moment. You caught strays. I didn't mean to shoot strays at you now. I apologize. Like, I'm a person that would apologize when they're wrong. You have a beautiful name in Ainsley, so I apologize for that.
Yeah, you were sending bullets any which way.
I
thought you were going to attack the name Brad at that point. I thought you were going to get after Brad.
I was hot.
No one was safe.
I was hot yesterday. 800-990-3776. That's the ESPN Wisconsin talking text line. Coming up next, Brad and I, the two master degrees guys, we're going to take you to school with the KBN Academy. Keep it locked. You're listening to KBN on ESPN Wisconsin.
The trouble continues out on the roads. We've got flooding on 43 northbound, north of Brown Deer Road. South of Mequon Road on the southbound side, we have a crash that is blocking the right lane. We've also got an earlier crash at Fond du Lac Avenue. It's just gotten cleared out of the way, so things a little bit better through that area. And then, of course, we've got the accident on 894 southbound at Beloit Road. And the right lane is blocked with that one as well. It's going to be slow everywhere. This rain is really wreaking havoc on our commute. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Breezy with rain ending, mostly cloudy, a low of 35. Tomorrow, becoming mostly sunny with a high of 48. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Right now, the prices of diamonds are probably the lowest we'll see in our lifetime.
Diamond prices are low, low, low. Here's why.
It was hard to meet new people during COVID.
When a person meets their soulmate, they usually get engaged about 39 months later.
People started dating again only about 36 months ago.
Most of the people who got engaged during COVID
or immediately after COVID
were already in a relationship before the COVID lockdown began.
The Wall Street Journal even published a story about all of this.
Low sales of engagement rings created a worldwide oversupply of diamonds.
But now, engagement ring sales are beginning to pick up again.
By the end of next spring, this temporary oversupply will be gone.
And diamond prices will start climbing like crazy.
If you ever wanted to own a big diamond, this is the year to do it.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
If you want to own a big diamond, the time is now.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Marquette fans, Buffalo Wild Wings is the official viewing party location for Marquette road games this season. The next watch party will be March 14th at the Oak Creek Buffalo Wild Wings for the Big East Tournament. Marquette watch parties will continue for all Big East and NCAA tournament games.
It's Big East Tournament time for Marquette. They enter the Big East Tournament at number 10 overall in the country. As for Tyler Kolek, will we see him in the game? We will not. However, Shaka Smart hopes he's getting close.
Doing some different drill work, but nothing close to live yet. Nothing where he's, really going with an intensity of full speed.
So it's up to Cam Jones and Oso Iguodaro to be the leaders as Marquette begins its Big East Tournament run tonight. Coverage starts at 8 right here on 94.5 ESPN.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Check out the Golden Eagles watch party schedule at gomarquette.com/BWW for upcoming locations.
Make it a real Mad March with a playoff payout at Potawatomi. Every week you could score your share of $100,000 in cash and free play. Play this March for drawing entries. Win each Thursday. Plus, the prizes refresh every week for even more winners. The playoff payout at Potawatomi, Milwaukee. It's anyone's game. For more details, visit paysbig.com/payout. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
It all starts next week. We're talking about the Guinness Basketball Hour. This is your chance to enjoy a free pint of Guinness at select locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin. Enjoy the basketball games and a Guinness all month at Mad Dog Saloon, Club Paragon, Tally's Tap, Kelly's Bleachers, Win Lake, The In-Between, and Tailgaters. Tune in next week and follow ESPN Milwaukee on social for the exact dates, times, and locations of the Guinness Basketball Hour. Receive a free pint of Guinness throughout the tournament with the Guinness Basketball Hour.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I don't know about you, when the weather changes like it did, my joints start to feel all out of whack. It's crazy. I don't know what happens. I don't know if it's temperature changes or what, but you know who I go to then? That is my friends at QC Kinetics. That's because QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine to help you get rid of that nasty, lingering joint pain. You know who I am if I'm talking to you. You're feeling it right now. They can help you get rid of that joint pain. Not a Band-Aid, long-term solution. With no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetics is literally transforming lives. Don't just take it from me. Take it from the tens of thousands of satisfied patients who have reclaimed their mobility. Spring, summer, it's right around the corner. You're going to want to be out there walking, running, playing golf. The window for warm weather is so short in Wisconsin, you want to take advantage. Let QC Kinetics help you do that with no pills, no surgery, no downtime. It's an all-natural solution to get your life back. QC Kinetics, taking action now, and I want you to be able to take action of your spring and summer and your life by regaining your mobility. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. Call them at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
This is KBN, and it is time for KBN Academy. Let's go to school.
In radio, our goal's pretty simple.
Just so you know, you really suck.
Have an A show or an F show.
Hey, I'll decide who sucks around here.
The same goes for topics in this next segment. This is the KBN Academy.
Those that can't do, teach.
This is the KBN Academy, where we go through a couple questions and we take everybody to school, and we let you know whether it's an A or an F on the question. Chris, take it away.
I guess let's kick off KBN Academy here with this. 57-year-old Iron Mike Tyson set to return to the ring to box Jake Paul in July. The fight will be streamed on Netflix. A or F, you plan to watch the fight?
You know, this is an A for me. This is an A for me.
Oh, wow.
I'm not a big, I'm not a big, I'm going to watch boxing or UFC or something like that. I dig it, but, I'm not going to really put time on my schedule for it. Throw Mike Tyson in there, though. The champ. I want to watch me some Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Look, I know he's just kind of a dude. I know who he is, but I'm rooting for Mike Tyson in this one. Mike Tyson, he's still got it, man. I want to see that punch. I want to see that swing. Count me in for watching this one.
I want to see Jake Paul get his ear gnawed off and bit off. Oh, this is an A for me, too. I was so excited to see this. I'm not like a Jake Paul hater, but, I want to see Mike Tyson knock him out. I want to see if
Same.
I think Mike Tyson is almost 60 or he is 60.
57.
He is in decent shape. I've seen him still training, and I hear that pop and that bang. This is exciting to see Iron Mike Tyson back in the ring going up against Jake Paul. This is going to be fun to see. I won't be paying for it. I'll probably go to somebody's house. I might. Let me not incriminate myself.
Do you have Netflix?
But you're going to have to pay for it on Netflix, or it's going to be free.
So?
It's free.
Oh!
Isn't
that awesome?
I'm assuming if you have Netflix, it's free.
Oh,
I don't think there's going to be another paywall behind it.
Well, that's what some of these people do. You pay for certain stuff. You got to get the premium. And so, I'm going to be so geeked to watch that.
Yes.
I cannot wait to watch this fight. I know one is a has-been, a great has-been, and one is wish he was and never was, but it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be entertaining. So I say that's an A as well.
And that's the thing, right? I know of Mike Tyson in those days. I've never watched him fight live. It's going to be my opportunity to watch him fight live.
You never watched Mike Tyson live?
No, we were young at that point.
My family used to have boxing nights. I remember.
No way.
Not saying my dad illegally had the black box, if you know what I'm talking about, what the black box is.
Wow.
Shout out to Channel 35. And so we used to have the family and friends over. We used to watch the Tyson fight. I remember the last fight I believe we had over, it had to be in the late 90s, was the Lennox Lewis fight. I remember the Holyfield fight as well, where he bit the ear off. But yeah, good times back in the 90s, man. Shout out to the black box.
Man, the 90s were different.
What do we have next, Chris?
Moving on, Brewers closer Devin Williams expected to miss roughly 3 months after he was diagnosed with 2 stress fractures in his back. He's expected to make a full recovery without undergoing surgery. A or F, missing Devin Williams for 3 months will prove costly for the Crew.
This is an A for me, too. Why does it seem like the Brewers are cursed in a lot of ways?
Man.
It's so frustrating, whether it be injuries or whatever else. I think this will prove costly. This is a good Brewers team. They're going to compete for the NL Central, but it's going to be a razor-thin margin if they're going to either make the wild card or win the division. So losing a guy like this, who's an all-star closer, it's going to hurt. There's going to be some games lost because of this. You just hope you can hold on tight and that he can come back for the second half of the season feeling real fresh and bringing his A stuff.
Yeah, man, it sucks. It really does because the Brewers, they're a young team. They're in a transition period, and injuries are not the thing that you want. Brandon Woodruff won't be back for a while, and not having your closer is going to be detrimental for this team in the first 3 months. I like Devin Williams, but man, I wonder if we would have traded him would they have not discovered it, and we would have kind of came out like bandits. But you know what? I believe in trusting Devin. Hopefully he'll get back, but this is going to hurt us. So I think that's A. Yes, that is A. What's the last we got here, Chris?
KBN Academy with this. A third of Americans look forward to nights when their partner isn't home because they get the bed to themselves, according to new research. The survey of 2,000 Americans who live with a partner found 36% appreciate when either they or their partner isn't at home, as they don't have to share a bed. The results show that 4 in 5 respondents, 82%, admit their partner's sleeping habits consistently wake them up during the night. ARF, you and your partner would ever sleep in separate beds?
This is an F. I suppose anything could happen that we sleep in separate beds if like someone was like, if I was like snoring really bad, or we somehow got in different, timelines of when we fall asleep. But we currently don't, and I couldn't imagine having that be the case. Thankfully, Lexi and I are very on rhythm when it comes to bedtime and waking up and our sleep habits. So, and I love it. I love sleeping next to her. So I wouldn't want that to happen. I feel bad for the people that do, because you kind of miss a little something. You miss a little bit of that intimacy, Kyle.
Hey, that's an F for me, right? If I go to bed not happy about something, I might go to bed quiet, but I ain't sleeping on the couch. I ain't sleeping on the floor. I'm sleeping right where I belong. Listen, we may not be happy with each other right now, but you still mine, girl, and we ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. We staying right here in that bed together. That is an F. That is one thing that I don't care how bad life gets. I ain't never leaving my bed to sleep somewhere else. We staying right here together. You can be mad if you want to.
That's Jason Wilde level loyalty right there.
It sure is. It sure
commitment.
is. That's an F. I like sleeping in the same bed. So that is KBN Academy. The professors were here to give you great knowledge. But next, we'll have somebody, a Marquette Hall of Famer, all-time leading scorer, former NBA player, Tony Smith. He'll join us to talk a little bit Packers as well. Keep it locked. You're listening to KBN here on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Hey, Russell, this is Brad. Awesome. I had nothing before them. I had nothing before them.
Hey, Russell, this is Brad.
Hey, Russ, what up, Russ?
Awesome. And I'm going to read this word for word.
Yeah,
That's who I am.
all right, let's give him the floor. I'm going to try and fly.
Yeah, don't interrupt, dang it.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
The biggest time of the year on the court is back. Join ESPN Milwaukee and enjoy the first game of the March Hoops Extravaganza at the 3rd Street Market Hall, located right in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. Hey, this is Kyle Walsh from Kyle Brust and Nortman. I'll be broadcasting live on the 21st and 22nd during the biggest games of the day. Plus, enjoy their 50-plus TVs, local food vendors, and self-serve beer wall. Kyle Brust and Nortman at the 3rd Street Market Hall, March 21st and 22nd.
Gabe Neitzel here. I know you've already heard me talking about how Mentality has helped me over the years, but there are others like me. Jason has been using Mentality for a while now and is loving the results.
I have gotten a handful of friends, probably a couple dozen, especially those that are closer to my age, maybe even a little bit older, because I just tell them, you got to check this out. Do not wait any longer. Just go and admit it. Yep, you're at an age where things are slowing down. I promise you, you're not going to regret it, and that's truly what I get. I'll get a phone call after, like, man, I feel like a kid at Chuck E. Cheese right now.
Learn more today at lowtusa.com.
It's March Mania time at all Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships.
5 seconds left. Drives, scores!
That means choosing from the area's biggest selection, plus saving thousands from the Midwest top-ranked automotive dealer. Your nearby Kunis Auto Group dealership, featuring America's #1 rated starting lineup from Buick and GMC. At nearby locations in both Greenfield and Oak Creek, we've got the only March Mania sales event in the Milwaukee Metro Region, where everyone's a winner.
For the lead, bullseye!
We're putting on a full court press to sell over 500 new and used vehicles in March. No other competitor can go one-on-one with the deals from the Cunis Auto Group team. Our Cunis sales MVPs lead the league in assist to our customers. So getting the vehicle of your needs at a price and payment you can afford is a slam dunk. Plus, we're paying above top Kelley Blue Book values on all trade-ins no matter what the mileage or condition, so buy like a champion today at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Cunis Auto Group dealership or online at shopcunis.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Justin Fields can't come into Hollis Hall anymore. Like I'm saying, he still might be on the team, up until the draft, maybe even beyond the draft, but he can't be around the team. Whoever you take with the number 1 overall pick, there needs to be a clear understanding by everybody in the building that he's the guy. And he doesn't have to look over his shoulder no matter who else is on the quarterback depth chart. If Justin Fields is in that locker room, then there are going to be some players from the Chicago Bears that have allegiance to him, that believe in what he can do, the potential if you put the proper pieces around him. And so Caleb Williams, rookie quarterbacks, typically do struggle. If, in fact, he does struggle early on, everybody in the organization is going to be looking at him to potentially step in and save the day, that being Justin Fields. So that's the position that you can't put Caleb Williams in if you want to do right by him and get his career off to the best of starts.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text KETTLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text KETTLE to 321-321. That's KETTLE to 321-321.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Is this a Tony Smith special? Okay. Well, before we get to a Tony Smith special, I got to tell you about a Bath Authority special. That's right. If your bath or shower is old or outdated, has mold, mildew, or broken tiles, listen, I don't want you to deal with that anymore. You got to call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. They have walk-in tubs, replacement showers, tub-to-shower conversions, and so much more. The Bath Authority has you. And guess what? They do everything custom built. I'm telling you, all their products are also made in 100% in the USA and can be installed in as little as 1 day by a certified factory technician. So call them today at 414-249-6934 and get $1,000 off a new shower bath plus 36 months of interest-free financing. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety by calling 414-249-6934 to schedule your free in-home estimate for The Bath Authority. TheBathAuthority.com. TheBathAuthority.com. TheBathAuthority.com, where a better bath awaits. Tony Smith joins us live from New York here on KBN. Tony, how you doing today?
New York. What's up, gentlemen?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much.
That was a great read, Kyle, by the way.
Oh, I appreciate that. So thank you. So I hope you go to the Bath Authority. Say yes. Just say yes. Just say yes, Tony. Say yes now. You are an influencer. I know.
In fact, I'm going there when I leave here.
Hey. There we go. But speaking of influence now, Tony, me and you go back and forth because you are a Packers hater. We ain't got to argue about that right now. You can defend yourself later. You're a Packers hater. The Packers free agency, they kicked it off, and some would say they made a big splash. How do you feel right now?
Who would that be?
Wait a minute, Tony. Time out. Who would that be?
They made a big splash.
Wait a minute, Tony.
What was the splash?
You don't think this is a splash, Tony?
Tony.
Oh, wow.
Either
Mr. Splash.
did you, Tony? Either I don't know if you're being real or sarcastic, Tony, whatsoever.
I'm simply asking a question.
They signed. They signed running back Josh Jacobs, and they released Aaron Jones, and they also signed a top 4 safety according to ProFootballFocus.com last year in signing Xavier McKinney. So they solidified the safety position, and they replaced Aaron Jones with a younger running back. What is your initial reaction to that?
Well, they gave away probably their best player in Jones, so they had to do something. Josh Jacobs, not bad. He's not Aaron Jones, but he's not bad. I like him. What did they do at the linebacker position, though?
Nothing, Tony. That's where we can be on the same page. They did absolutely nothing.
That was a position of need that I was concerned about, Kyle. But I mean, if you want to, worry about running backs, don't they devalue running backs now? They're a dime a dozen, I hear.
Well,
that's what the word on the street is. That's not what I think, but that's what the word on the street is. So,
well, they're not paying Josh Jacobs like he's a dime a dozen. In fact, 6th most on a money per a year basis. Basically, he's got to be a top 5 running back for this deal to be worth it, right? Do you think he can be?
How do you guys feel about that? I mean,
we said that it's all there for him to go do it. We think he will be a top 5 running back. What say you, Tony?
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, he's gonna. I mean, I don't know. It's always the same thing with the Packers. Right? Are they going to run the ball? I mean, they have them. How much are they going to use them? I mean,
a lot.
Aaron Jones. I mean, well, I don't know. We'll see. We know with Aaron Jones, like if they were going to use him high usage, like he would have been super valuable. But it seemed like he was always on limited snaps. He was hurt. I'm just curious how they're going to use Jacobs now that they do have him, and see if they're going to take some pressure off of Love, your guy Love, who you think is good. So, listen, if he can get it running, that would be great. I would love to see it, and I would love to see that would help the entire offense if Josh Jacobs could, do some damage.
You raise a really good point there, Tony, about usage, right? We're going to find out whether or not this was Aaron Jones. As Jason Wilde joined us earlier, you can always go to ESPN, you can always go to Wisconsin On Demand to hear all of our shows, download all of our podcasts, but also listen back to the Jason Wilde interview that he had. But he talked about the 15 to 20 carries that he typically got. We're going to find out this year whether or not that's a Packer philosophy or whether or not that was an Aaron Jones thing, because you do have a bell cow who had 242 carries, 340 carries in a year, 273 carries in a year. But, I mean, at 340 is ridiculous. So we'll find out exactly what the philosophy is. But are you one of the people yourself, because you said you lost arguably your best player on offense in Aaron Jones? Do you think this was a poor move by the Packers to get rid of Aaron Jones?
No, not if they. I mean, he was their best player, but they really weren't using him a lot. I'm curious to really see what he does in Minnesota as far as the load that they give him. And you were just saying, like, you see if it's an Aaron Jones thing. If he goes there and he has the same limited workload, I mean, yeah, you probably did the right thing in getting rid of him. I mean, like I said, Josh Jacobs, he's not Aaron Jones, but I think he's pretty good. He's close. Who knows? In a different atmosphere. I never know what he's going to look like here, but I like Josh Jacobs in general as a player when he wasn't here. So, I like him a lot more now that he's here. So I just want to see what he does. I just want to see if they can really get a run game established and then work off of that. That would be ideal.
A commonly stated concern that we talked about on this show was, Aaron Jones, he was kind of the heartbeat of that locker room. He was a leader. He was well-liked by everyone, definitely an elder statesman in that offense and in that locker room. And all of a sudden, there's a void now because of that. So, yeah. I mean, what say you, Tony? Is that overblown, not a big deal, and someone else will step in? Or do you think that's a void that's something to be concerned about?
Yeah, we don't know Josh Jacobs' personality. I don't know if you guys have had a beat on that. I don't know if he's spoken yet. But you 100% need leaders. Football locker room is a big locker room, right? As Ben known, basketball locker rooms are a lot smaller, but you certainly still need leaders in there, and guys to keep guys in line. What you do, like the coach's voice is one thing, but the guys, the leaders on the team, their voice is a totally different thing, and it's just as or maybe more important to have that coming from another voice on the team. So we'll see what kind of guy Josh Jacobs is. I mean, Aaron Jones was a hell of a guy off the field as well. So, you're gonna need some leadership. I don't know where it's gonna come from. There's a lot of young guys on that team. So, As far as stepping up, you would think it's got to come from the quarterback, obviously, a little bit, but he as well can't do it all, so he's going to need some backup.
So, Tony, we had an election yesterday. We didn't have you part of the election because, you probably would have won outright. But if you had to pick two hosts, two hosts here on ESPN Wisconsin to be president and vice president, because this is all based off of your boy Aaron Rodgers potentially being a vice presidential choice for Robert Kennedy Jr. So, what two ESPN Wisconsin hosts would you have as president and vice president?
I'm going to put. Oh, wow. I would put Gabe Neitzel.
Thank you.
As president?
Okay. As president, I'd put Gabe Neitzel. And just for some comedy relief, I'd put Homer in there as vice president.
That would have been mine too.
Oh, really?
If I would have got
that's your entire ticket?
We did a draft. I would have had Homer as president and Gabe Neitzel. Well, it would have been Mark Shimura and then Gabe Neitzel, one of those two. But I like that ticket there.
My other choice for the second piece would have been Ben Bruss, though. It's either Homer or Ben Bruss.
You want a polarizing VP?
It's Homer and Ben Bruss. Yes,
Tony.
Wait, that's the ticket.
White House.
Wait, are you saying
I need some drama coming out of the White House? Gabe's going to be too straight laced. I need some drama. So the two best people to deliver the drama, Homer and Ben Bruss.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
You must have loved 2016 to 2020.
Kyle, I can't trust you, to be honest, so I will not have you on the ticket. Sorry, buddy.
Man.
Love you, though.
Tony, quick, before we let you go, Jason Wilde tomorrow morning is going to drive 3 hours to get his haircut for someone in Madison.
Yeah, I saw that. Ridiculous.
Where would you is there anything you would drive 3 hours for? Like, consistently?
Some things. Golf, yeah.
You'd go to a golf course, like, consistently?
I drive to Sand Valley every couple of weeks, yes, to play out there.
Oh, you know where's Sand Valley at?
It's way up in the boonies. It's about 4 hours away.
What? Oh, hell no, Tony. Golf ain't never that good.
I would barely walk to my bathroom for a haircut, though, guys. So.
You're also bald. Thanks, Tony, for joining us. He'll be joining the Homer Hour coming up next. Also, Marquette basketball coming up next. Thank you so much for joining us. He's Brad Norman. I'm Kyle Wallace. Shout out to Ben Bruss, and this has been KBN. Next, it's the Homer Hour.
The trouble continues out on the roads. We've got flooding on 43 northbound north of Brown Deer Road. South of Mequon Road on the southbound side, we have a crash that is blocking the right lane.